So today we've got a ton of podcast questions. We've been actually
we have like
games,
2.
So I feel like we've got a bunch of stuff. Oh no, there's been people discussing podcast questions all week. I feel like we have like a dozen podcast questions. You have your phone, right? You're not using your phone as a camera? You have your phone? Okay, so I know, just making sure. So you can open. Oh, you got your computer as well, so you can open up podcast questions wherever. All right. Okay, so let's get started.
Whoa!
Whoa.
What?
I just used my teleporter to go from Dalaran to Ice Crown, and when I get there, so I'm Alliance. The Horde ship is just going through. I wish I was screen capping. This is so awesome. I just got the big balloons right in front of me.
So are you playing?
It was kind of epic. Yes.
Are you playing while we're recording?
I was playing before we were recording, so I guess the answer is still yes. But
it's okay to play while we record. It's a World of Warcraft podcast, so if you're playing World of Warcraft, I feel like that's fine. Okay, so speaking of which, we are mere casuals.
A World of Warcraft podcast.
It focuses currently on Wrath of the Lich King, a World of Warcraft expansion.
Now, do we have any hardcore news this? We don't have any hardcore news this week.
No, we're all done.
Out of the hardcore.
There is hardcore news. It's just not about us. So
it's in the news.
What order do we want to talk about things in? Do we want to start?
Still in the order of operations. Bedmas.
What's B?
Brackets.
No, I mean in relation to WoW.
Better tell them who we are.
Yeah, I started that, and then we got sidetracked. I'm Josh/Will Riker.
I'm Sam/Rolaren.
I'm Al/Okona.
So he did the slashing. I have to remember to put that in.
It actually looks like you're drinking coffee.
I am drinking coffee.
My coffee
I have both coffee and a Diet Pepsi. Not product placement, but it is a product I just happen to have placed here.
Is yours caffeine-free or is mine? Okay, so you got the caffeine-free as well.
No, I paid for the caffeine in mine.
That looks like caffeine-free Diet Pepsi.
No.
Is it not?
No.
It's
Caffeine's gold.
Can.
It's the same.
Silver is non-caffeine. Gold is caffeine-free. That's gold.
How is that gold?
The writing is gold. His writing is silver.
Gold! Gold and silver! Silver and gold! Wahoo! Nothing.
We are Mere Casuals. Pause for news intro.
Yeah, we paused for news intro.
We should.
You just had to say it, didn't you?
Live.
You just had to.
It's time for the news.
So the first thing in the news since our last recording was a Blizzard developer interview with Sarth and Crix.
Those aren't developers. Those are streamers. Oh, they were interviewing a developer?
Yeah, it was an interview with Sarth and Crix. They were developing the interview with the developers.
Who was the developer?
Well, that was what I was about to say. The developers, Blizzard developers, Tim Jones and Dara Diba, sit down with Sarth and Crix and have a chat about Ice Crown Citadel and the future for Classic. Now, when they say sit down, it's not like it used to be where everybody got in the same room. It's a sit down like what we're having right now.
Yes, because for once we're not in the same room. We usually are.
Yes. So it's a small, 32 minutes video. I think it was 32 minutes. They talked about a few things. One of them was Omen of Clarity. They explained a little bit about it. So remember last time we talked about it and how they changed it, but then changed it back. They were talking about how they didn't really need to change it after they're looking at class balancing and future scaling. And it wouldn't really affect. They might still end up on the top, blah, blah, blah. There's a lot there. Feel free to watch it. They were talking about Ice Crown Citadel. They want to keep the fight in the original format. But they may change it if everybody's running the same kind of 18 mages to do the fight. Again, that's a rather interesting part of the discussion. But then they're also talking about the 5% damage reduction buff that was released later on, and whether or not they'll be releasing it or bringing it back and when. They're not planning on doing it too soon, maybe 2 months to 8 weeks, or 8 weeks to 2 months, however you want to read that.
So
8
rough-
weeks and 2 months are the
they're
same.
not the same.
Not exactly.
Weeks is about 7 days less than 2 months. No, 6 days less than 2 months, or 5, depending on what the months are. Probably 5.
Now, because they did release damage reduction buffs in the past, and it seemed to take people away from getting their legit kill on whatever boss, you can turn this off.
What is a legit kill, really?
I don't know.
If
I don't
that's the
care.
way- if that's the
But
way
if
that-
you
if that's
want
the
to
way
have
the
a
trade works,
full,
it's a legit kill.
if you want to have a full strength fight, you can turn this off. They're also making predictions. I believe it was Daradiba made a prediction on the first kill of the Lich King, and he said that he feels it will be done on the first day and take about 3 hours. More of that in the news
Well, why
later.
would it not?
And then they were talking about Shadowmourne and how people were complaining that it's easier for people to get than it was in the past.
So
And they discussed that, how more people can get it and get it to use it, not just get it at the end. So by the time you get it, you no longer can use it.
I see a
And they
theme
said-
here. Can I
Sorry?
break in? Can I break in for a second and recognize a theme?
Yes.
So people are complaining that they might add the damage buff that was in the game before, that makes the bosses easier to kill. They're complaining that Shadowmourne is easier to get. So are people by any chance complaining that the game is accessible and playable by all the people that play it? Because that seems like a theme there. I mean, you wouldn't want just anyone able to go on a raid.
Yeah, maybe I'm not speaking properly. They didn't talk a lot about, like, there wasn't a lot on the complaints. They did mention how people would like it the original way. But
The original way had the buff.
anyway, direct words from them. They said they're going to err on the side of fun. I can get behind that.
You know how to be fun?
A lot
Yes.
of WoW players
Yes, I
don't.
do.
A lot of WoW players take it very seriously, and if you have fun, then shame on you. You're not doing it right.
I know somebody who takes the game very serious.
Who?
His name starts with a J and is Iwa.
A J?
I don't know this person.
A-J-A-Y?
J. Shiwa.
You're just making
Joshua.
weird sounds now. Who's that?
You!
I've never gone by that.
You've never gone by Joshua.
No, nobody calls me that. Who
I
calls
call you
me
Joshua all the time
that? You don't. When do you ever call me that?
when I'm making fun of you.
Like to your friends at work?
Yes. You take the game very seriously.
I don't take it seriously at all.
Yeah.
So Al is doing the news. Let's
Sorry,
let him
Al.
Continue to read the news.
No, it's okay. You guys can go ahead. I mean, it's good to add your voices into the news as well.
I did. I
So the
injected,
next
and I,
bit of
I
news-
noticed that people were complaining a lot.
I'm sorry. I don't know about your microphone's volume. I hope it's recording louder. But if I'm ever talking over you, it's not intentional, just because I don't hear you. Okay. But moving on with the news. The next bit of news is how to get Shadowmourne Guide, which kind of keys into the first little interview we're talking about making it more accessible. So it says to allow Shadowmourne to be enjoyed by many players, they've made several improvements and adjustments. So the Shadowfrost shards do not require that a player in your raid group has advanced to the quest Splintered Throne in order to drop.
Yes, they announced that quite a while ago.
Well, this is part of the news that occurred during the week.
I know. I'm just saying. We already knew that was going to happen. Like us people that have our eye on Shadowmourne, we knew that a few weeks ago when they announced it.
Yeah, yeah.
Someone who-
I probably knew too, but
No, I'm just
Old
saying.
brain.
I'm saying
Old brain.
that's part of the thing that makes it easier. But they did announce that. They did announce that a while ago. So they probably did. I'm sure they talked about it in this interview. But I'm just saying they did announce that a while ago as well.
this is in the interview. This is the next bit of news.
Oh, okay.
The drop rate of the Shadowfrost shards on 25-player normal have been adjusted to match the drop rates on 25-player heroic.
I did notice a lot were dropping on Saturday
Yes.
and Sunday. We killed 10 bosses, and I think we had 8 shards drop. So that was pretty good.
The end boss of each wing, Sourfang, Lenethel, Putricide, and Cindergosa, and the Lich King, will now
You killed the
always
Lich King?
drop- Pardon me?
Nothing. You said the Lich King, so I thought you got to kill the Lich King.
We'll talk about that later.
I haven't killed anybody in there yet. They will now always drop a single guaranteed Shadow Frost shard on both 25 player normal and heroic.
So you say single. Is it possible for bosses to drop more than one? It probably does.
Well, I don't know. They're talking about these 5 bosses, the end bosses for each wing, how they will always drop a single guaranteed. So I guess a single guaranteed. It doesn't say whether or not there will be more.
See, when they phrase it like that, when they say a single guaranteed, it almost makes it sound like it's possible that they can drop 2, but I don't actually know.
And Primordial Serenite can be purchased from both the Emblem of Frost vendor as well with the new currency gain and Titan Rune dungeon, Gama Protocol Dungeons. Dungeon was in there a lot.
So getting those 25 Primordial Serenite is not difficult.
Right. So the idea behind it is that people can have Shadowmourne early and be able to use it and enjoy it.
Yeah. No, I think from just to talk about that news item a little bit, from what I gathered from the first night of raiding and from doing some Gama Dungeons, the Serenite is super easy to get, and it's already dropped in price on our server down to, I saw some selling for 1,200 each, which means
nice.
Getting 25 of them is, either a week of dungeon grinding, maybe less than a week of dungeon grinding, or just shelling out a few gold, and everybody on the server has a ridiculous amount of gold, so I feel like the Serenite's going to be easy to get. Like I said, we had 8 shards drop in the 10 bosses we killed. We didn't kill Syndragosa or Lich King because we ran short on time, but if they're guaranteed to drop a shard, I mean, if we're getting like 10 shards per week, then that means that we can have, like, every 3rd week, we can have somebody getting a Shadowmourne, which is pretty good. And every week, because there's drops off of Fester Gut and Other Ugly Thing and one other guy that you need for the initial quest. If you get those every week, then yeah, you can get one on week 3, you can get another one on week 5. Like if you're getting 10 Shadow Forge or whatever they're called shards a week. Like it sounds like there's going to be a lot of them going around, and that first stage of the quest where you need the Primordial Serenite, you actually get a pretty decent axe from that stage as well. So there's going to be some nice weapons going around pretty quick.
Yeah, I think that's what is ticking off a lot of the hardcore is that, everybody's going to have it. My question is, how does it really affect you?
I, for one, don't care. They can be all mad if they want. If they want an authentic, classic Wrath of the Lich King experience, they can go back and play it in 2008.
True.
People are old now. We're not in high school. We are not 20 anymore.
Not legally, anyway.
Some of us aren't allowed to be within 500 feet of a high school. We're not.
What'd you do?
We don't have that kind of spare time anymore. Some of us want to enjoy the game and get a cool weapon.
All right, so I'm just doing this news in the chronological order in which it came out. So now we're going to jump to hardcore, and big surprise: the first KT kill for hardcore is done by Frontier.
Did you watch it? Did you watch the kill?
Well, I watched the kill
because like 5 of them splatted during the boss fight. I thought it was hilarious.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Was it 6? I think one had already died. I think maybe because I think it was 5 got like one shot all at the same time. And when it happened, I was like, are they going to wipe? I was actually kind of excited. I thought they were going to wipe. Yeah. But they didn't. Well, they killed the boss still. It was all very exciting. Hooray for them. I mean, it is super difficult to kill, a 23-year-old raid boss like that. I'm very proud of them all.
It truly sounds like you are. The losses in that particular fight, they lost Ampy, which was the raid leader, who continued to raid lead. They lost Uraj.
My what?
Concert, Wave, Bev, and Vorpal W. There's more to that name, but I can't see it on the screen. So what I did, I went back and I just actually went to Ampy's YouTube and pulled up their their next run, and I saw that there was another loss in that particular raid, just not on the boss. It was right at the beginning to trash, and we lost Sea-Doo 2 on the first pull.
Sea-Doo 2, huh?
Yeah, but then I couldn't figure out who Vorpal W was, so I did not watch the rest of the raid. So there might actually be more losses in that raid. Just on the last boss, there were 6 that went down.
Yep. Yeah, no, I watched it. It was a kill.
So that's it. Frontier. Okay. So in my tours today, I did happen upon Ampy's Twitch, and it seems he's now rolling a troll shaman.
Isn't that horde only?
Yes.
So he's
Both
not gonna
troll
raid
and
with-
shaman are horde only.
He's not gonna
Putting the
yeah,
combination
troll, yeah.
together, I'd imagine they're still both horde only.
So he's gonna not raid with Frontier anymore, or are they trying to kill at horde side too?
Well, it's just what I saw him playing today. Maybe,
Oh, maybe just
he's
for
doing both. Maybe he goes both ways. I don't know.
Maybe.
Yeah, so that's just what I've seen. So moving on, there's the next bit of news is Ashen Verdict Guide. Is read it. Oh, that's a note to me. I have to read it.
Read what? The Ashen Verdict? Is that the rep?
Yes. So if you take a look, you can connect to it through the news in our Discord, which is Discord me/Mere Casuals. There's a dot between Discord and me.
I was gonna say there's a dot between Discord and me.
There's a
You
dot.
didn't mention that the first time.
Got interrupted by a period.
That will lead you to our Discord, where you can then be in our Discord.
Right.
Turn my mic up, by the way. Am I loud enough now?
You're doing okay. So a player who achieves friendly reputation from the Ashen Verdict will unlock a quest called Choose Your Path from Ormus, the
I did that.
Penitent.
It also unlocks the Shadowmourne questline.
Yeah, so it allows you to choose one of 5 flavors of the epic ring. Now the thing, I was looking at these rings, and I really like the name change that they do as you progress in reputation. So at friendly, just looking at the tank ring, and all of them follow this pattern. But the tank can have the Ashen Band of Courage. And as soon as you get honored, you can get the Ashen Band of Greater Courage.
Oh, that's more than the first one.
Right, and if you're revered,
Revered? Revered.
you can get the Ashen Band of Unmatched Courage.
Oh man, that's unmatched by the other two.
And then once you reach Exalted, it's just endless from there. The Ashen Band of Endless Courage.
Nice. So
Physical DPS, the Ashen Band of Vengeance,
hold on.
Ashen
though,
Band
hold
of
on.
Greater Vengeance. It's the same,
So
unmatched.
the revered one was unmatched. Is endless more than unmatched? Because unmatched implies that it has no match. So wouldn't you want the revered one? Would you just stop? Can you turn your rep off at that point? Because you don't.
Well,
wanna
it
go
just means
past
that there's not
unmatched. You
another
wanna-
one like it because it's not
you wanna
matched with
continue to be
anything.
unmatched. Well, unmatched implies the best.
I was wondering that is when I got to unmatched, but I'm still trying to equate that in my head. It's like saying infinity is greater than infinity, but if
So
you add
hold on,
infinity
then.
to infinity, you still only have infinity.
Hold on. So would the greater one not be better than the other two? Because if you have the band of the band of unmatched courage, and you say, well, this is greater, that means it's
Yes,
better. So
but it
they're
doesn't
doing this in
specify what
reverse.
is greater than
Well, it's greater than whatever you're talking about, I suppose.
the previous ring. Yes.
This is all very confusing. I wish they had stats on them that got bigger or smaller so you just look at the stats and know which one you have.
Yeah, that would be helpful.
Those rings, though, the final stage, when it's in its final form, it actually has a proc effect on the ring. It gives you, like...
Oh, nice.
Attack
Increased
power.
armor,
Have you not looked at it? Oh, that's probably
increased
the same.
spell power, increased chance on hit to increase your attack power. Yeah. Oh, yeah, they have good procs.
No, they're excellent rings. They are, in fact, they are best in slot for the rest of Wrath.
Nice.
There's
So
not-
there
there's not
are
much-
Ashen Verdict reputation profession recipe rewards, which seem to unlock at can't spoke. They seem to unlock at honored and revered, and they have them there for blacksmithing, engineering, leatherworking, tailoring, so those 4 professions have some recipes available to you.
Feels like the old days of mere casuals. I'm just sitting here eating candy and drinking pop. So, in the Ashen Verdict guide there, does it have anything about rep grinding?
I don't think so. Let me go
I
back.
did see something. People were having issues in the first few days with going in and doing rep grinds because you can go in and kill trash for rep, ideally, like in theory, without killing a boss, so you don't lock yourself to the raid. But people were having issues with getting locked to the raid. So I think, I could be wrong, but what I heard, what I just kind of gathered from guild chat and other sources was if you're running it in heroic, you could end up accidentally locking yourself to a raid ID. So if you're gonna farm trash for rep and BOE drops, I think you need to do it in normal. I haven't heard.
Well, that makes sense, but just in case. But this is just a guide. It doesn't actually talk about bugs. Now, one thing I did notice, building reputation with
That
Ashen
might be the
Verdict.
clinic.
Sorry?
Sam just has to take a phone call.
Hello?
Her phone rang.
Do we-
She went and answered it.
Do we continue?
You can continue. Yeah. She was.
All right, so building reputation with the Ashen Verdict is primarily achieved by killing mobs and bosses within ICC while not wearing the tabard of another faction.
Oh, I didn't know a tabard would affect it.
Yeah, I didn't either. I just read that now. So, if you want to build up Ashen Verdict according to this, don't wear something that will get you reputation with another faction.
I'm wearing my Summer Festival tabard still on my.
That doesn't get you reputation with another faction, though, does it?
Nope, it does not. So I was not affected by that.
Excellent. Further news on the next one. Fixes for ICC and Lord Marogar. I just realized Marogar, that's that bone guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the first part of his name is Maro.
Yeah, it's like a pun.
I know, so funny. But ICC has an attempts counter. Did you know that?
I saw it, but it just kind of stayed at 50 the whole time for us. I don't know what the deal is with it.
Oh, did you clear the whole thing? Or did you just not have time?
Is that just for Lich King?
Ice Crown Citadel. So when your heroic attempts counter hits 0, both the heroic and normal difficulty end wing bosses will no longer spawn for the rest of the current week. Thus, in order to fight Putricide, Cindergosa, Blood Queen, or the Lich King on normal difficulty, you must have at least one remaining attempt.
Because I don't know if it was. Oh, maybe. I don't know. I didn't notice because we did a couple heroics, and I'm certain we wiped on some heroics. Because I know we killed Marogar and Loot Ship without any death or without any wipes. So we one-shot those two on heroic. And then I'm trying to think, we did some other bosses we didn't even attempt on heroic, we just tried them on normal. But I'm sure we did some heroic attempts on something. I don't remember what though.
My question is there something wrong with me that of all the bosses I would look forward to, if I can manage to get myself into an ICC, is the Loot Ship fight?
It's kind of boring. Like
I realize, but I'm just thinking of watching that from a distance. These two airships having a major battle would be kind of epic.
Oh, it would look cool from the ground. But when you're actually up in the battle, I mean, not a lot really happens. It's basically just a series of trash fights while jumping from ship to ship.
Yeah, still, yeah. So looking forward to it, I'll probably be disappointed, but maybe I'll watch a movie. They should make a movie on it.
So cool thing about Ret Paladin, I was looking at my BIS list, and like...
There's a cool thing about Ret Paladins? Okay.
Yeah, like 3 of my BIS items are from Loot Ship Heroic. So like the easiest boss to kill on Heroic mode, I need 3 drops from there. It's going to be so easy to get those.
Just
Although
what
they didn't
Paladins
drop it.
needed, another easy thing.
Well, I mean, it's, it's not that easy. You still have to get to it. You still have to be in a guild that raids, Alan.
Raid? More on this is on the same news. Throughout the BTR, Heroic Lord Morrogar did not properly cast Bone Spike Graveyard during Bone Storm. This has been fixed.
When did they fix that?
Sorry, when did they fix that? You cut out at the end. Is that what you asked?
Yeah, when did they fix that? I'm just curious if they fixed it before or after my raid night. Because
Well, it said throughout the PTR it happened.
Oh, okay, so it's been fixed then. Okay.
Yeah,
I
so
was like,
I'm
is that
guessing it's
something-
been fixed
was
before it was
bugged?
released.
Because we had very little trouble killing Marrogar. And we did it on Heroic, and I'm thinking to myself, oh, I wonder if we had a bug in our favor. But it definitely was casting the Bone Graveyard, so... I mean, I don't think we wanted it to bug. It was a pretty easy fight.
So, oh, sorry.
Oh, I said it's a pretty easy fight. And it's one of the few fights that we actually practiced on PTR. So, maybe that's
Pretty
why we
tempting,
killed it
right?
so easily. My mouth was full, so I couldn't respond. So what else do we got for news?
There is some news on the first kill of the, okay, let's redo that. There's news on the first kill of Arthas, the Lich King. This guild seemed to have made some progress into it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no, sorry, the guild's name is Progress.
Yes.
And just referring to the first bit of news, the 3-hour prediction was a little bit off by about 50%,
Yeah,
as
was it
this
two?
took 94 minutes.
94? I thought it was just over 2 hours.
It says progress dash 94 minutes.
Yeah, okay. Well,
So, there's
congratulations.
that.
We're all very proud of you. Your life is now worthwhile.
Yeah. Yes, now sit back and watch the rest of us play the game. I don't know. We are all owned by Microsoft.
I'm owned by no one.
Microsoft owns it all.
Microsoft does
Some
own
people
a lot of
happy,
things.
some people not. Some people wait to see what happens. Who cares?
I'm quite indifferent because I don't see what impact this will possibly have on my life.
And then there was an entire news section devoted to the availability of the portable hole.
Yes. Did
It's
you
available.
know that people are going to Shatra, buying the portable hole, and trying to sell it at a markup?
I know, right? So, portable hole. Listeners, viewers, it's available from Harris Pilton and Shatrath in the inn for 3,000 gold. There are people trying to sell it for more. I kind of trolled one guy twice on 2 different tunes just for the fun of it.
Yeah, reading that conversation, I got the distinct impression that he thought he was going to go buy it and sell it and go buy another one and sell it and make some decent money, but he realized very quickly that nobody's going to pay his stupid price. So
Yeah, because I was going to get into that because in the last conversation he goes, I'll be happy to sell it to you for 3K.
yeah.
No, you can hold on to that piece of merchandise you can't move.
Well, I mean,
That being
at the very
said,
least,
I've been,
I mean, they're unique, right?
yeah,
So he only
No.
could have. They are.
I don't know.
I assume.
Maybe unique equipped, because unless he's not wearing one, I didn't actually look into it. I'll
Because
look
I was
into it
thinking
now.
the most he could have bought is one, and I mean the only loss he has is, oh no, now I have a 24 slot bag. So I mean, really, whatever. I just find it funny that people try and do stuff like that. Take advantage.
It does
of
not
people
say
not
unique
knowing.
on it.
Is it not unique? Can you have like one of those in every slot?
Unless they've changed it, but there's nothing on here that suggests it's unique. I could always go into Shatrath and take a look at it myself since I'm in game. But
So,
no,
so in this guy, he said that they're on the auction house for 4K, correct?
yes,
So people are trying to get 4K on the auction house. You know what I would do if I had more gold than I have, because I don't want to tie up all my gold in some kind of nonsense shenanigans. If I had more gold than I had, I would go buy just a bunch of them if they're not unique and list them all for 3K on the auction house. And just all those people trying to make a profit, I'd be like, ha, good luck.
that still might end up costing you once you take into the fees. Once you take the
well,
fees
the
into
fees-
consideration.
The fee is based on vendor cost, right? Like to vendor it back, and I wouldn't imagine.
Oh, I
it
don't know.
costs-
I've never looked into
I
it.
think auction house fees are calculated based on how much it costs you to vendor the item. That's why it doesn't cost anything to list enchanting mats.
Oh, interesting.
So
That is
as
something
long
I
as
just
it doesn't
learned.
like vendor back for like 2K or something, then I mean, what am I going to lose? Like 20 silver on each bag? Like, I don't care. It's worth it just to mess with people.
Yeah,
Hi,
that'd be fun.
Hi.
Welcome back, Sam.
Welcome
Nothing.
back.
What?
And
Was it
that's
who
the
I said it
news.
was?
Oh, okay. Do you have an appointment now?
Yes.
So you're finally getting all that removed?
I wish.
Was it a guy?
No.
An apologist?
What? Oh, yeah, that.
What?
What?
I don't know. I couldn't really.
Did I? Oh wow, that was out of left field. I didn't expect a yes or even an acknowledgement.
Did
if
you
it
say
was a
the
yes.
right thing? What did you say?
I didn't hear what he said.
I said, was that a guy?
Nicologist. Yeah, that's who it was.
Oh.
You're right. How did you
I was
guess?
like, what? Okay. I know now.
Well, because that would just be the first thing I would say because I'm me. But there you go. But I'm done the news.
That's all
Can
it
you
is?
like take that one?
I don't know. Do you want me to
no.
take that out?
I don't know.
Because unless you really don't.
No, it's fine. I just
Because it's humor.
He
and
left
all
us
that.
in fighting. He's not going to take that out.
I cut most of the fighting out. I left in just enough for context because I wanted to have my duel the death idea in there, and I wanted to have a reason for it. So
well, I can go into more detail of what the phone call was.
it's up to you.
Oh, please do.
No.
So that's it for the news. We're done the news. So what do we want to do? We want to do. I'm just trying to think because what time? We got 20 minutes, and then are you just gonna drive down, grab them, and come back?
I
Or are we
guess
gonna
I could.
pause the whole thing.
Can we just pause the
We'll
whole?
get to that when we come to it. So let's start. Let's start by just kind of talking about what we've been up to, and then we'll get into the podcast questions through Discord after a short break, or when Sam gets back, depending on exactly what happens.
Or when you get back?
I'm not even wearing proper pants. I don't know
I'm
what
still in
you're
my
saying.
uniform.
Hey, that's outside clothes. Uniform is outside clothes. So Sam, did you
Hey,
play at all this week?
I did play. What?
You played?
What did
You're
I?
not in your. You're not in your proper. You have to wear proper pants to a school.
Well, technically, yeah, they want you to wear clothes when you go to
Are your
school.
balls hanging out?
Are my balls hanging out? No.
Oh,
That's
Josh's.
That's what
Oh.
she's having removed.
I'm getting something inserted.
Well, not till later, Sam.
That's not what I meant.
So, Sam, tell us what you've been doing. What have you been doing? You been doing anything? Did you play it?
I tried to do the lore master stuff. I can't do the new kingdom. United Kingdom?
United?
Old Kingdom?
Like the dungeon?
Kingdom.
Outlands?
No. Kaladar.
Kaladar? Kalamdor?
Kalimdor.
Yeah.
Eastern Kingdoms or Kalimdor. Why can't you do them?
I can't do it. It's just too boring. I can't.
The United
Oh.
Kingdoms of Kaladar?
I was gonna say as a level 80, you better be able to do it.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. That's why people don't finish Lore Master. Because it's...
Because I think I'm at like 340 something out of 700, and I can't do that area anymore.
There's other things to do now.
Why
So I
don't
went.
you invite me when you're on? You might have more fun with a friend.
But would you want to do low levels like that?
I don't have it yet, so I would just be getting it with you.
Okay. So I moved
Oh,
on.
friend, Sam.
I moved on to.
Well, some of us need somebody to play with. I can
Moved
see
in-
that she's looking at you with that comment.
It never occurs to me to
Oh,
invite people along when I'm doing things. I'm not.
we
it's not a
realize that. Don't
deliberate-
worry.
It's not a deliberate snub. It's just when I log in, I'm never like, oh man, this would be better
It's-
if I had more.
It's because
people.
we're part of a crappy
But, like,
little guild. I
what-
get it.
Yeah,
When I am sitting in the same room as you,
yeah.
and you log on, you should be like, "Hey, do you want to log on and do the daily with me?"
Would we like to tell the whole story?
No, I like my version of the
Would you
story.
like to tell the whole
Oh.
story?
I like
There's
my
different
version of the story.
Because I seem to remember I was sitting here. I wasn't playing WoW. I was playing Factorio because
No, you were playing WoW.
And then I'm getting to that, and then I switched and I logged into WoW.
But what
And
was I doing? I remember sitting out here and I was reading something to you.
maybe I don't remember that. I just remember. I remember the part where you were like, "You never want to play with me," and I was like, "Well, I'm getting on. I'm going to queue for the random dungeon."
No,
find.
no.
Do you want to join me?
No, that's not what
And
happened.
you said no.
That is not what happened.
And you shut down WoW.
That is not what happened.
It's more or less what happened.
That is not what
You said
happened.
no. I asked you to
No,
queue
no.
with me, and you said no.
No, that is not what
So
happened.
did I do the daily first?
You were on doing the daily because I was out here. What was I reading? I had
No, I
something.
didn't even know you could read. Was it the garbage stuff?
Maybe it's the green thing.
Might be the green bin stuff. Okay, so here's...
But here's the thing. You were doing the dungeon. I was sitting out here. I watched you log on.
Yeah. So you
I was
weren't
in the middle of but I was in the middle of trying to figure out what goes into this green bin thing, which is way more stuff than you would think.
Yeah, a lot of stuff. Can you hear Sam? Because she's not that close to her mic.
Yeah, I can hear her.
Okay.
And then you were doing the dungeon, and I was like, "Hey, how come you didn't ask me to do it?"
Okay, and then what did I say? I was like, okay, when I'm done this, would you like to join me? And we
You
can
already did
dungeon
it.
To get, it's random dungeon finder. I need to do dozens of them to get my primordial serenite. I have to do more than one. I was like, do you want to queue with me for a dungeon? And you were like, no.
No, because it was just a pity invite at that point.
So I queued for another dungeon, and you're like, why didn't you invite me?
Because you were just pity inviting me.
I invited you. Well, what am I supposed to invite you because of what you bring to the group?
That is. I have a question for you.
That was pretty low blow there, Josh.
Well,
Not gonna lie.
What other reason am I supposed to invite? I will
So now
invite
I
her-
have a question for you.
I will invite her to a dungeon because
Pity.
she is my wife person thing, and I'm like, okay, we're supposed to do things together. Let's do this thing together. That's not pity. That's me recognizing that that's what people do and trying.
So you
to-
pretty much answered my question without me even asking my question.
What's your question?
That you only do things because it's pity because my
Pity's
gear
not
score.
the right
No.
word.
Do you? How do I word this?
Do I need you in game? Is that
No.
what you're trying to say?
No. Do you not play with us? Me. I'm not bringing Al into this.
Uh-huh.
He can chime in if he wants. Do you not play with me because my gear score is so low and you need to
Your
be
score's
up?
Not that low.
You need the people up.
I told you I
Up.
don't care. With random dungeon finder, I don't care. I don't care who I'm grouped with. The dungeons are all easy. I did a dungeon the other day where over the course of the whole dungeon, I did 64% of the total damage. Because everybody else was
I did
terrible.
more damage in one of the dungeons
We had
with
a
you.
tank. We had a tank with a 4K gear score.
I did more damage in a dungeon with you yesterday.
Because I was dead for the entire night.
And you got it towards the end.
Yeah, that was a funny. Let's tell that story real quick because that was funny. Because so we were doing is it Ingvar? Is that the guy?
I don't know.
Utgard Keep.
So yeah, we did Utgard Keep, which I pity invited Sam and Al to apparently.
Don't bring Al into this. I didn't tell.
I was there, so I apparently pity invited you. I didn't invite you because I wanted to play with you. It was purely pity. I invited you and we queued up for a dungeon. It took like 9 minutes. I probably could have been in 4 on my own, but no,
See?
I wanted to play with you guys.
See?
So I queued and we got into the dungeon. It was fine. And we get to the final boss. And throughout the course
So
of
this
the dungeon,
whole high mighty paladin of Josh's died immediately.
That's not what happened. I'm telling the story. So we get to the final boss. Now, throughout this dungeon, I've been saying to Sam that when ice spawns under you, you need to move. And
I was moving.
I was doing fine with it throughout the course of the dungeon. I didn't have
Yeah,
to say
get the
anything
fuck
about
out.
But you were doing fine. How is that an insult? Al was doing fine. He was getting out of his
No,
ice.
what I said was just the long version of GTFO.
Oh, okay. I thought that wasn't even working, though.
GT.
Just think about it.
Yeah. No, I got it. But who said that?
Nobody said
Just
that.
finish your story.
It's
We'll get to that part of
It's
it
an
after.
add-on that squeals at you when you stand in something.
Oh.
So we get to the final boss, and I'm reminding Sam to move out of the ice on the ground. If it's
You weren't. Someone was yelling at me.
And then no, that was earlier in the dungeon, and they weren't yelling at you necessarily. They were just making sure you knew to move.
I've never been in that dungeon with the ice.
I know that's why you needed to be reminded. So we get to the final
I think
dungeon.
they kind of made the decision to stop healing if people are dumb enough to stand in the ice.
And me and Al were kind of stacked on top of each other, DPSing the boss. And like, I don't know, 10 seconds into the boss fight, some ice spawns under Al and he dies like fast. And I was like, oh man, that sucks. So I sidestep out of the ice, and just as I sidestepped, so just as I sidestep, the boss does his smash, and I must have like clipped into him or something, because despite being behind him, his smash hit me for like all of the damage and just one shot me. So I'm dead now. Like,
So those
15
two died
seconds into the
immediately.
fight. And it's just Sam and a holy paladin and a prot paladin, and
We did it,
it took about 5 minutes
but we did it.
for Sam's damage on details to pass where I was. I was leading the DPS for the majority of the fight still, despite dying about 15 seconds into it. Well, I mean, the tank was ahead of me, but tank DPS in Gama Dungeons is essentially cheating.
It's a
Because
thorny
there's so much
situation.
Thorns, it's ridiculous. But yeah, that was fun. But
So I just want to add into your story, if I may.
yeah,
One thing this did teach me was that I need to be a better dungeon runner because I can't always rely on add-ons. So we have the GTFO add-on, and I'm not hearing any screaming throughout the dungeon, but I'm constantly moving. So I didn't even think twice about it, hence why I was okay, because Sam has a hunter and she stands at a distance and is pretty much stationary most of the fight, whereas I'm a rogue, I can keep moving.
Mm-hmm.
We get to the last boss and I'm just stationary behind the boss. No add-on is yelling at me to GTFO, and then I die. And of course, I'm looking at the boss, wasn't looking at my health until my screen started saying, hey, you're gonna die. And then I died.
your screen's
Your green says that. That's pretty cool.
See, I don't pay attention to the add-ons because half the time I'm playing without my sound on, anyways. So
I'm just saying I got used to it,
I
that I
constantly
became
move around.
dependent on it, and it just it killed me.
That's that's how a lot of drugs work. You become dependent.
Yes,
on them,
dependencies
and they
kill.
you.
I was just going to say that.
So GTFO is basically heroin, I believe.
It's
So-
there to save my life, and it failed. It had one job to do,
Yep.
and it didn't do it.
So that's a PSA for everybody. Heroin may be there to save your life, but it will kill you. So let's move on. What else have we been doing? So you did a couple dailies with me.
Don't get me started on
Oh,
Oculus.
Right. Okay. So yeah, this is the other funny story I wanted to tell. Al wasn't.
We need to do Oculus like 5 more times, by the way. I'm just saying.
I know, but this was the fun story. So the day after the Garp Keep issue, was it the day after or was it the day before?
It was the dungeon right after Oculus.
Oh right. So this was the first.
This was yesterday.
This was the
Back
first
to
random
back.
dungeon finder. This is the first random dungeon finder Sam has done. Okay, so we get on, and Sam gets on, and I was like, "Do you want to queue for a dungeon with me?" And she's like,
You get the Oc. You
she's like,
suck.
"Okay." And I even said out loud because she's like worried, and she's like, "Well, what if I don't know what to do?" Like, and I was like, "Don't worry,
Because
it's
I
not
haven't
hard.
played.
There's going to be no issue whatsoever as long as we don't get Oculus. Then it'll be fine." And we queue up and we pop into Oculus, and I was like, "Ah, crap." Because I haven't done Oculus in months because I avoid it. Like, I hate it. I don't like it. The last time I did Oculus is the time that you released on the final boss and didn't get credit for it. That's
I
the
know.
last
I
time.
still don't even have a complete for it at all.
Like, we can look back. I don't know what episode that was, but that was months ago, and I haven't done Oculus since that day.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, for
we
sure.
get in there, and I'm like, well, crap, I don't know what to do. And I was like, well, just make sure you shoot the mirror images and do whatever damage you can. And when we get to the Drake part, then, I don't know, follow me? Because I don't know where I'm going. I was following everybody else.
I
So,
died.
We got through it. We did really good. Like, we cleared the whole thing. Sam died on the boss. You know, like, it does the ground ice, and you got to stand behind the pillars when it does the arcane explosion.
Yeah, I died
Sam
immediately.
died
No,
on
the
that
mage.
boss because... What?
I died on
Yeah.
the mage.
That is amazing.
Yeah, that's the fight that he is describing. I think.
Oh,
He's amazing.
I didn't see ice.
Yeah. Well, that's why you died. You died because you were in the floor crab.
Oh,
You didn't move.
I didn't notice.
So Sam died to that, and then...
You were on four
that
grounds?
was the only... What?
Nothing. I'm just being stupid. Go on.
Oh, so Sam died to that. That was the only death we had up until the final boss. And then Sam was the only death on the final boss, and she died right at the end. So,
Immediately, as soon as I died, you want to know what Josh said?
don't really...
Yeah,
because, you know. So, here's the thing we noticed with all
what did he
of
say,
this.
Alan?
I said, don't be an owl. So
Cool.
here's the thing we noticed with Oculus is Sam died, right, at the end. And when you die at the end on the Drakes, you just kind of fall forever, and you can't res. You have to run back into the instance.
I couldn't.
So I know, I'm getting there.
Oh.
So I tell Sam, I'm like, you just go back into the Nexus thing, and you go up the ramp, and you go into the instance. And she tried to do that, and
I just walked right through.
Yeah, and she just walked right through. And as I'm describing this and telling the story, I'm realizing that I sent you to the entrance for EOE, not the Oculus. And that's probably the reason why you couldn't get in. Because I was going to be like, it wouldn't let her back into the
did it take you an eternity to figure that out?
I just realized it right now. So, yeah, you were...
Was it eye-opening?
It was a little bit. So, yeah, that's probably
That's
why
rude.
she couldn't get in. I was going to say she couldn't get in, and it's weird, it must be a bug. But no, I think that's just what happens when you're at the...
It's a bug. Kill it.
We did kill it, but Sam died.
So what you're saying is don't listen to you?
Well, I mean, it's up to you if you listen to me or not.
If he tells you to don't listen to him, do you heed that advice?
She doesn't listen to anything.
I don't listen to anything he says.
So you did listen to him.
No, because she already wasn't listening to me.
All right, so that's it. Sam, do you have more you did this week? You tried, yeah.
I think that's all
Lore.
I've done.
You tried Lore Master, you did a couple RDFs, you got some Defiler Scourge Stones, and I don't remember if you got a drop that was an upgrade or not.
No.
No, I don't think you did. Because you've got a bunch of Alduar stuff, and I think you can get some 2/3/2 stuff off the end bosses, but it's mostly 2/2/5 stuff. Probably not upgrades, but you can get the TOGC stuff with the Scourge Stones, and if you save up the Frost emblems, you can get Ice Crown loot with that. So I mean, there's stuff you can get, and you need to figure out your trap launcher. Because I realized partway through Oculus, I was like, oh yeah, that's a thing you get now.
I know how to do it.
You know how to do it?
Yeah.
Well, why didn't you just do it then? Because you were like, I don't want to figure that out right now. If you just knew how to do it, you should have just done it. Like, launch your explosive
Just
trap.
do it.
Oh, I don't know how to
Sam.
launch
Just
it.
do it.
I run in, I drop it, and then I hit the...
Not that. They changed that. They added a trap launcher.
Oh, then I don't know
So
how to...
now, while you're back shooting, you don't even have to move. You just hit your trap launcher, and it fires your explosive trap into the pack that you're fighting.
Okay,
You
well,
take
why
the-
didn't you tell me
you take the
that?
trap,
I did.
There you go.
I just don't. I'm not a hunter, so I don't know if you have to go. I think you have to go to your trainer and train.
Okay, well,
So, good work, Colin. So,
why is everyone calling me all of a sudden today?
Was that another guy?
No,
that
that's actually work.
job. Stupid job.
Did you silence them or just ignore it?
I silenced them.
Okay, don't ignore it. Do the silence, because if you ignore it answers it really fast, and they know you're there and you ignored them.
Oh, I know.
If you,
You're allowed to
if you
ignore
silence
phone calls.
them,
What are they
I
gonna do?
silence them so then they can leave a message. I know exactly what it's going to be. I know exactly what she's calling me for.
nice.
They're short 2 people tonight. She wants me to come back.
Back
We
to
don't
me.
discriminate.
Yeah.
Do they need long 2 people tonight?
What?
Do they need their long 2 people tonight?
Yeah.
No, just the short people are working, so they need Sam to come in and reach stuff up the shelves. So are we going to pause for a second? Do you want to go get him?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Do you want us
After
to, do you
these
want us to wait for
messages,
you?
we'll be right back.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
And we're back.
What did I miss?
Al was playing WoW and I was playing Factorio.
Did anyone
As
notice I was
anyone
gone?
What do you mean?
I'm just asking in the podcast in general.
Oh, we barely noticed
Well,
that you're back.
See, in the world of people listening to this podcast, you will have been gone for approximately 4 seconds.
Ah,
So, because I'm just gonna cut that whole part where me and Al just kind of idly chattered while playing video games. Because we didn't say anything of value. I mean, Al was confused why his flight path mount wouldn't turn.
Oh, that was just now.
I was having severe train issues. I'm playing Factorio here during our little break, and I had it kind of running. I had my factory running while I was setting all this up, and then I paused it while we record because I didn't want to have to pay attention to it. So I unpaused it and I looked, and I have a loop that I now have 10 trains all using with little like side rails for their stops where they load and unload cargo. And
I have some of those.
and I have automatic refueling set up for most of of my trains, but apparently my one train, whose only job is to carry fuel to various power plants, I forgot to set it up to refuel. So it is a train with 4 cargo cars full of coal, but no coal in the actual engine. And it ran out of fuel right in front of an intersection where 2 of my side rails remerge with the main track. And
Cool
it hit
story.
the first one as it was coming out, just perfect timing. The engine died right as the engine was crossing in front of where the tracks merge. And one of the other trains came and hit it, and then the other one coming out behind it hit it from the side, and then 2 more trains came up and hit it from behind, and it just caused this whole pile up. And I had to go and I had to move all the trains and refuel the offending train and get them all set back on their routes, and it was a whole thing.
So, anyways, what you guys doing wild this week?
I just want to add that I find the ultimate irony that your fuel train ran out of gas.
That's the point I was making. The train whose sole purpose is to carry fuel to various parts of my factory ran out of gas because I forgot to set it to refuel itself.
My question: in all those train accidents, was Bruce Willis the only survivor?
I don't get that.
As I said, 8 people died. Bruce Willis was not among the corpses, so yeah, I think we're good.
Unbreakable, Sam. Unbreakable.
What is that?
Bruce Willis.
We've seen Unbreakable.
I don't think Unbreakable.
You have. Well, you should.
So,
It's a good movie.
this week in WoW.
Which we already started. We talked about Sam, so do we want to talk about Al next?
Sure. So I've been playing. I've been doing some tournament dailies.
Cool story. Okay, let's get to me now. No, I'm kidding.
I finally got exalted with the Silver Covenant. That's right. When I faction changed, they took
I'm
my
buying candy.
other exalted and just deleted it and did not give me the Alliance equivalent. So Lich King arrived and died within 94 minutes of arriving.
Yes, we talked about that.
And
Wait, did we?
I did a few dungeons on the random dungeon finder with our mutual friend Bob.
Oh.
Hey, what about Bob? Bob's been gone. But we did a few dungeons. I got to hear Bob talking about a lot of low
Really?
score people.
What?
And Bob does not like low gear score people, especially tanks. That just made me smile a little bit.
I'll get to that. I'll get to that on my part. You continue with yours.
Well, we got some dungeons. There's one that we actually didn't complete. We just abandoned it. Just because. Then I did some with you folks and found out that GTFO was... Well, GTFO just GTFO'd off of my add-ons. And we died in UK.
Not all.
I did not. So speak for yourself there, Alan.
I did. I was speaking for myself and Josh. Why are you interjecting in that, Sam?
You told me you wanted me to be here, so you wanted me to interject.
Right.
That's
And
why
I
you
responded.
waited
I
for
didn't
me.
say I wasn't going to respond to your interjections.
I interject.
And so, yeah, daily... Oh, I took mining away from my miner, away from my rogue, and I implemented a new program of engineering, which means I had to give my miner to somebody else and bring that up as well to supply this engineer.
Did you get
However,
past Mithril?
didn't level it completely, the mining portion that is, so I did end up buying a lot of things and selling a lot of things, and I am now 350 JC, 350 engineering.
Nice. How are you liking engineering?
I like it. I got some buffs that I can use. So my enchants are now engineering enchants. So I got the speed on my gloves that I can use every minute
Yeah.
when I remember. Got the rocket boots.
I have it macroed into all my abilities. So as soon as it's up, something triggers it.
Yeah, I can. I have the parachute cloak.
Mm-hmm.
I've got. What is this? I got Molly.
Who?
Molly.
Molly?
So now I don't have to carry a bunch of crap in my bags. I can mail it to myself. So if I need stuff while I'm in a dungeon, pull out Molly.
Oh, the portable mailbox.
Can
Yeah, I can
anybody
use
use that?
Can use it for, yeah, if it's up, you can use it.
Do you wanna know
So it has a
something fun?
2-hour
Here's something
cooldown.
fun.
So if there's a bunch of engineers then you can pull it down.
Yeah, I'm an engineer as well, but do you want to hear something fun about my engineering?
Yes.
So first of all, there's a lot of stuff you get with engineering. Basically, I leveled engineering so that I would have bombs to macro into my stuff, and I wanted the hyper whatever accelerators for my gloves, and I wanted the nitro boost for my boots. That's basically why I leveled engineering. There are other perks to engineering that I keep forgetting exist. Like, for example, we were doing a dungeon with Bob the other day, and some people died, and there was no one left with a res, but the person that was left alive was an engineer, so he attempted his revive, whatever it's called, jump start, whatever the
Gnomish army knife.
The Gnomish army knife, right. And I was like, oh yeah, I forgot that existed. And Bob's like, you don't have one? And I was like, why would I have the engineering res on a paladin? And he's like, well, like, just in case. And I was like, no, why? I have no reason to ever use an engineering item that can fail when I can just cast res. So I don't have that. Of course I don't have
No cooldown
that.
on your res?
No, there's no cooldown on my res. Why would there be a cooldown on my res?
Well, what if you run out of mana?
Then I drink.
And you're resing a whole raid of people.
Here's the thing. If I drink, my mana is full in 3 ticks. Like, it doesn't take very long. I don't have a lot of mana. It's barely an inconvenience. And if I'm able to res, that means I am not in combat, so I can drink. It's super easy. I have no reason to have the engineering res. Absolutely no reason. But I also still don't have any scrap bots, or junk bots, or Jeeves, or any repair bots. I still don't have one of those, because I keep forgetting that's a thing. And I don't have the portable mailbox, because I keep forgetting that's a thing. And for the longest time, I didn't even have a wormhole, because I forgot that was a thing. But I have a wormhole.
Well, here's the
now.
joy about the mailbox and the wormhole, and maybe Jeeves as well. They are toys.
Yeah.
So you click it, and it's out of your bag. It's now in your toy tab,
There's a
and you
toy
can just
tab
summon
now?
it from there.
I thought the toy tab wasn't in Wrath.
Well, you thought? Have you looked?
Did they just add that?
No, mounts, pet journal, toy box, and heirlooms.
So they added the toy box. I didn't think they were adding the toy box.
Yep. So
I
your
also
fish
haven't-
speaker's
I also
lucky
haven't
lure
checked- I haven't
can go
checked
in
the
there.
tab.
Molly can go in there. Eloon's lantern can go in there. The schools of arcane magic / mastery can go in there.
I haven't done
Northrend wormhole generator, the titanium seal of
Wormhole
Dalaran.
generator?
Those are the toys I have right now.
This stuff's all still in my bags. I didn't know that was a thing.
Yep. And there's things I got rid of for bag space that I have to go back and get now just to put in my toy bag.
That's a shame.
So it actually, look at this, folks, because you might like this idea. Okay, I got a new idea of things to do. So when you're done, we'll offer things we can do in WoW section.
Yeah, you do.
And
lots of
since
things.
you already, spilled the beans on what you asked me about engineering, I also have the Gnomish army knife, so I can res. Sam is on TikTok.
Oh, well, Sam's back looking again.
Sam was actually on Facebook Marketplace buying scrubs.
What? You don't need more
Oh.
scrubs. You have 40 pairs of scrubs.
You can always use more
More
scrubs.
scrubs
Are
than I
there
have
any
in my
cheap
entire
exercise
adult life.
bikes or TVs?
What?
Any cheap exercise bikes or TVs?
Don't look right now. We're recording the podcast. So what else do you
Anyway,
need? Let's get back.
what
to
I
the
need
topic.
now is to do some Old War runs,
Old
so
War.
I can get some drops, so I don't have to pay a big price. Excuse me. Sorry, I have gas. I just had Pepsi.
What do you need? What do you need from Oldawar for engineer?
A bunch of drops so I can make the motorcycle.
Oh, you get that stuff from like scrapping the trash?
No, it's drops off of the boss.
What drops do you need
I'd have to. Well, okay. Let me open up my engineering tab here.
for the motorcycle?
Yeah, but then I also need the Jeeves recipe.
Yeah, I don't remember where. Oh, you get that from the dwarves in Storm Peaks, right?
No, I thought it was. Well, I'll check that. The salvaged iron golem parts drops off of something in Old War.
Does it drop, or do you use your engineering to harvest it from a dead boss?
It says it's a drop on Wowhead. Goblin Machine Piston.
Just
Oh, I need 8 of those? That can't be a
I
drop.
think that's stuff that you scrap off the boss, like off the kills. I don't think it's a
No.
drop. I think you use your engineering to mine it.
I don't know. It said drop when I looked it up, but let me just take another peek. Now, the Goblin Machine Piston, you need 8 of them, I just noticed. And the more I say piston,
it's an 8-cylinder. It's an
the weirder
8-cylinder
it
bike.
sounds.
Have you
Oh, yeah.
noticed with Al's picture, it moves? Or is it my eyes? Am I like losing it?
Yes.
Maybe both.
Why is my picture moving?
Does your camera refocus?
It looks like there's a heartbeat.
Yeah, when you go like this,
Every time you move, it like refocuses.
go like this.
Looks the same to me.
Yeah, it's not doing it now.
Oh.
Yeah, you're probably just crazy. So yeah, you want to do Alduar for that. How much does that stuff cost to buy?
It'd be about 15,000 altogether. Leviathan MK2 drops. It says dropped. So it drops the salvaged iron golem parts.
You
And-
you mine the boss with engineering, and you get it by doing that.
I don't know. It just says drop. It doesn't say mine from or salvaged from.
Yeah, but I've seen people do it on the raids that I've gone to many, many times.
Yeah.
I'm
And
pretty
he actually
sure you
drops
mine
2
the boss.
pieces.
But I don't know. I haven't paid attention because I'm not an engineer.
Yeah, so
I
that aside, I want to make that. I do need a Jeeves, which you asked what does it drop from, and
The recipe? Yeah, I thought it was the
This-
dwarves in Storm Peaks. Is it not?
dropped by
I haven't done it yet.
Ojwar, Halls of Stone, Ojwar, Oculus, Storm Peaks, Library Guardians. Ooh,
Is this everything else
That's
done
the
this
dwarves.
week?
That's the dwarves.
Are we still on that?
On dwarves?
Is this everything else done this
He's
week?
meandering, but
Okay.
we're getting there. He's talking about stuff he wants to do as well as stuff he's
well, I did engineering, so this is all part of the same topic.
Okay.
part of the engineering.
And we just kind of sidetracked onto this.
I just was paying attention the whole time.
Sam wasn't paying
Yeah,
attention because
clearly.
she was on Facebook.
So they drop from Library Guardians, and they also drop from level 70 people in Borean Tundra. But interesting.
I'm pretty
So,
sure the
yeah,
Library
that would be
Guardians
cool.
are dwarves in Storm Peaks.
So that's what I've been doing
Unless
this
those are
week.
mechanical things, I don't know.
And now I just want to start doing some Gama Dungeons. I want to catch up on some of the other dungeons, get some more mounts. I got the Argent Hippogriff, by the way. It does not scale with your skill. It is 280, not 310.
Which one's that? Is that the one from the tournament?
150 marks, yeah.
Well, yeah, because they don't add that until a later expansion where the mounts scale.
Well, I just
like
thought that
that's
particular
added.
one would be a 310 for some reason, but it's not.
No, it's I don't.
So I bought it, and I'm unhappy with it. They won't take it back. Oh, engineering. So I also have the Serenite bombs. So you remember all those Serenite bombs I sent you?
The boxes of bombs, yeah,
Yeah, can I have them back?
I use them. I've used them and then bought many more since.
I know, I was just kidding. My question:
Because here's the
explosive.
thing. I'm lazy, so I could make boxes of bombs because I'm an engineer, but
Yeah.
I don't wanna. So I just go to the auction house and I buy boxes of bombs.
Nice.
And I buy the Serenite. The Serenite sapper charges, like the big ones, they are cheap. They're like a gold for like 20 of them. They're so cheap.
The sapper, I don't think is Serenite. The sapper is
The
goblin.
goblin sapper charge, whatever it's called.
Yeah, and then I also use. Well, I haven't used it, but I have the explosive decoy. I think I might like that when I'm trying to pull. I was just doing pulls actually while Sam was out, and you know those converted heroes that slow you. I always
Yes.
try to get 2 packs together, but I can't seem to do it before they'll kill me. Because if I just keep running and they keep hitting me, and I'm trying to get them together, they will kill me before I get there. But that explosive decoy may help me do that. So.
Yeah, I swoop in on a mount and I run through a pack towards another pack, and that usually gets me a good part of the way before I get dismounted.
Yeah, I've done that, and I've gotten part of another pack, but never the whole other pack.
The problem I have farming those with my paladin is I'll engage one pack, and I'll be like hitting it on the way to the second pack, and then they all die so fast because I do so much damage that I can't make it to the second pack while the first one's still alive. Such a pain in the butt.
I appreciate that you didn't sound too condescending when you said that.
Condensate.
But this the same thing. If I was attacking as it's going, I would definitely take out quite a few.
Yeah. I can't wait until I get my 2-piece tier 10 set that keeps resetting my Divine Storm. Be able to kill those. But I'll be able to kill packs of everything so fast. It's gonna be so nice. But do you want me to start with what I've been doing?
How long is that going to take?
Not very.
I was about to say, so Joshua.
See?
Nobody calls me that.
What have you been doing this week in World of Warcraft?
Nothing. He hasn't been playing.
What have I been doing? Yeah, I don't think I
You
played.
just said you did a dungeon with us yesterday.
No, I've been doing the Gama Dungeons. I should be doing I should be doing them daily. I should. But the first day I was supposed to... Okay, so here's what was supposed to happen. I was working till 9. I was supposed to come home and do a bunch of daily...
What day was this?
This was Tuesday. I was supposed to do a bunch of dailies with Bob, get on and do the dungeons. But it was a long day, and I was so tired when I got home. I made
and you ignored us.
Food. Well, I made myself some food, and I watched an episode of the show I've been watching, and I was like, I don't want to play anything. And I just went to bed. I was so tired. And then I wake up the next morning, and Bob's like, I hope you enjoyed EverQuest. And I'm like, oh, come on.
Oh, is that where the EverQuest comment came from?
Yeah. I wasn't playing EverQuest. I was too tired to be alive.
I guess it doesn't help that I was rooting for Bob. I was like, are you sure you weren't playing EverQuest?
I wasn't. That was,
As you
that
were
was the
beside...
night I came to bed early.
I was already asleep, so I didn't even notice.
I was there, and Bob's always ignoring. I said, no, you might just be tired, gonna go to bed.
Yeah.
No, you can tell. He's just ignoring us.
No, see, when I'm tired and I'm really not, like, sometimes I'm tired and I'm just not in the mood for doing anything.
Yeah,
So
I know.
I don't even want to answer and make excuses, so I just ignore my phone. I'm like, I don't exist today. I'm not gonna be conscious or present for the rest of today. And I regret it because at the end of Raid last night, because I skipped that day with the daily, I was 2 Frost Emblems short of being able to buy my first tier piece while I was in there.
Oh,
So-
did it bring a tear to your eye?
No, but I've since gotten it doing the daily, and I could just, pop a raid group and go in and buy it, I'm pretty sure. But the thing is, the way that... So anyways, what I've been doing, is other than that first day when I just didn't feel like playing, I've been doing the dailies, I've been popping some extra Gama Dungeons because they're really quick. And it doesn't really seem to matter what your group is. They're pretty easy. And I need a lot of Defiler Scourge Stones for my Serenite. Because I want to have all my Serenite. My goal is to have all my Serenite before raid next week. Just in case I'm able to get the drops off of Putrid, Gut, and Fester side, or whatever they're called.
Fester.
Why are you giving me the peace sign?
It's. I heard that twice. Are you doing that on purpose?
Doing what on purpose?
Say Scourge Stone.
Scourge Stone?
You're saying Scourge.
Yeah.
Scourge Stone, yeah. That's what the word
Scourge.
is. Scourge.
Scourge? Scourge.
Scourge Stone.
I think we say it differently.
Yeah, I think I say it right.
Scourge. Scourge. Scourge.
I don't know what you're talking about. Scourge. There's no U.
Yes, there
Well,
is.
there is, but there's
Yes,
an
there
O
is.
before it. There's an O. It's S-C-O-U. Isn't it S-C-O-U? It's not S-C-U. Scourge. S-K-E-E-R-G-E. It's not how you spell it.
Well, we can just listen to any of the animations that they make, that WoW makes, where they talk about the Scourge, and you'll hear that they're not talking about the Scourge.
Yeah, well, we'll see. Mr. Plays with sound on. So I did a bunch of those because I need a bunch of those for my other stuff. And
If you're ever on and you see me around, feel free to invite.
yeah, but it's so much easier to just pop on a queue, finish, and then log out and hope nobody notices.
So he doesn't want to play with us.
I do.
No,
I do. Just
you
there are
don't.
days-
You really don't.
No, because I'm usually this week I've been binging a show. I don't usually watch
Stirring the
TV
pot.
shows.
I know.
I don't usually watch TV shows with them when I play. But there's a show that I really wanted to rewatch, and I've been watching it like constantly. I'm trying to get through it like start to finish in a week, and there's only 5 seasons, so I might be able to do it. But I want to get on.
Been
and I
longer than a
wanna-
week.
I want to just zone out into a dungeon while I'm watching this show. If I start playing with somebody else, like if Sam's like, "You want to play?" and she comes out here, I have to pause the show.
Oh.
Or if I'm
Oh,
playing with
no.
her, I have to get on Discord and I have to pause my show. Or if I'm
Oh,
doing
no.
like a group with like a static group that's got Discord, I have to pause my show. And I want to watch my TV show,
What are you watching?
Fringe. One of the best shows. What do you
It
think
is good.
It's one of the best science fiction shows ever made. One of them.
It's science fiction?
Yeah, what did you think it was?
I don't know. I don't watch it.
It's like sci-fi horror. It's really good.
I thought it was a cop show that you don't like.
It's an FBI.
Show.
Yeah.
The characters in the show are technically part of the FBI, but they're part of the Fringe division. It's basically an updated version of the X-Files.
I was
that
wondering if you'd
has
say
has
that.
a coherent plot.
Do you know why I like that
unlike
show?
the X-Files. Because you like Joshua Jackson.
Yeah, Joshua Jackson's in
But
it.
it's a really good show. Like it's
Any
not-
relation to
it's not-
Michael?
Yeah.
Michael Jackson? Oh,
But
no.
he's the end of life Michael Jackson, not early life Michael Jackson, complexion wise. So but yeah, it's really like it's a really good show.
Okay, so what else have you been doing in WoW this
so
week?
yeah, we did. So I've been doing those. My goal is, which I haven't taken the time to do because like I've watched a movie with Sam this week, and I've been going to bed at reasonable times, and I
We watched part of a movie together.
because you went to sleep. And
What did you watch?
we watched the first half of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Oh,
And eventually,
why?
someday, we will watch the second
The
half.
thing is, he asked me at what, 8 o'clock at night. I was up at 4 the morning before that morning of, or was that my day off?
Did you have a stroke? You didn't work the next day.
But I
why
worked that
asked you if you wanted to
morning.
Watch a movie.
So I was up at
Because
4:30,
You didn't have to get up the next day,
and you expected me to watch a whole movie with you.
and you expect me to run dungeons
Doesn't
with you?
sound unreasonable.
Oh, wait, so you don't...
I did watch the movie with you. My eyes were
Did
just
you-
closed.
Did you pity watch the first half of the movie with me, Sam? Did you not actually want to spend time with... What? You'd rather be in bed? Oh my goodness, Sam. So...
Wow, Sam, I can't believe you pity watched a movie with them.
So I half of the movie. I didn't even get the full pity. I got half pity. So I've been doing some other things, but my goal is, anyways, to run.
Are you back on TikTok?
She's probably on Facebook or she's typing, so it's probably not TikTok. So my goal is to run these on either my Paladin alt or my Shaman alt. I don't know, to start getting some gear, because the primordial Serenite is tradable, so it doesn't matter what character I'm running these on for getting my Serenite. So, like, I want to start gear because I don't need any gear from any of this stuff. I only need the Emblems of Frost for the dailies on my main. So I should be running these on a different character to potentially get some gear, but yeah, we'll see. But then we
What does Primordial Serenite drop from?
it drops from, you can buy them with the Defiler Scorch Stones. 12 stones gets you 1 Primordial Serenite,
Oh, okay.
which is basically 3 or 4 dungeons, depending on the dungeons you do.
Alright, so then otherwise it just comes out of raids, right?
Otherwise, it drops from bosses and ICC. So
Gotcha.
you need to start to do the first stage of the what's it called? What's the legendary?
Shadowmourne?
Shadowmourne. To do the first stage of the Shadowmourne quest.
25.
25 of them. So
Was
I
it
should
25?
It's 25. Yeah, I should be doing
Cool.
more than I have been, but next week I'll do more. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, I'll get them done. But we also did this Saturday and Sunday. We did ICC, our first attempt at ICC. We didn't do a lot of PTR. And our raid comp is apparently not great for ICC. I guess ICC, you want a lot of range. And we have a lot of melee. Like, we had, not including the tanks, we had 9 melee in the raid. We had 3 rogues, we had like 2 fury warriors, we had 2 enhancement shamans, like so many melee. We had a feral druid or 2. Why are you... Finger coming towards the camera.
Oh, I got a notification. I'm just reading it.
Oh, because that's your phone. Yeah, so yeah, we did that. We did heroic. I think I said this earlier, but we did heroic marrow, whatever, Gar, and heroic loot chip. We attempted some other heroics. I feel like we got a 3rd heroic down, but I don't remember which one. And then a bunch of the rest of them, we kind of like we'd take a look at the heroic and then just do it on normal. Because the way we generally do it is we'll try and like progress on 1 or 2 heroics at a time. So we've got a couple that we've got down, and next week there's a couple that we're going to really push to get the heroics down until we eventually get the whole thing down. And we've been doing good because we gear up in the process. And unlike the jump between Alduar and TOGC, the non-heroic gear from ICC is actually an upgrade over the heroic TOGC gear in some cases. So
Nice.
the heroic TOGC is 258 item level, the non-heroic ICC is 264. So depending on stat allocations and all that stuff, you may get an upgrade over your heroic TOGC with a non-heroic ICC drop. So we're gearing up and we're getting Shadowmourns hopefully, and for all of the melee because there's so many melee. We got DKs. We have like 3 DKs. So many melee in the group. So we got. Go on.
Sorry, I thought you were done.
No, I was just rambling.
All right. To interject, Shadowmourn it's one weapon, right? It's not a quest line where you get a choice of weapons.
No, it is to make that particular weapon.
And that is the two-handed axe
Two-handed
or
axe,
mace?
Yeah, it's an axe. I wish it was a mace, but it's an axe.
Okay, so two-handed axe. So that's all it is. So I don't need a
That's all
Shadowmourn.
it is. You don't need it. No,
No.
you're a rogue.
Okay.
You can't use it. You can't use two-handers.
Right. So that aside, if you need help getting Shadowmourn, I don't know what I could do, but
Unless you want to funnel me Primordial Serenite, there's nothing you can do.
I'm just thinking that's all I can do. But I'm not sure if I will need it. Have you done any of the new? Sorry, say again.
The Primordial Serenite is also the crafting mat for all the new recipes.
Yeah, I think it's also the currency to buy the new recipes.
That is also possible. I didn't look because I don't have.
Well, I have it up
any
here
recipes.
actually.
don't
Where
have-
was
I don't
Ashen
have
Verdict,
professions.
Reputation?
Well, I guess is there enchanting recipes? I don't think there is. I think it's all just gear.
No,
There's nothing I
no, it's blacksmithing, engineering, leatherworking, and tailoring.
Engineering. What's the engineering pattern?
Shatter rounds and ice blade arrows.
Oh, okay. So nothing I care about.
And if you
I don't
buy
know
it and
any
you try and
hunters,
resell it to the
What? I wasn't
no.
listening. What about hunters?
Oh, the engineering patterns from ICC are for arrows and bullets, and I said, "Oh, I don't need that. I don't
Ooh,
need hunters."
I want arrows.
and they do cost the primordial serenite.
To make the arrows?
No,
Or for the
to
rest?
buy the pattern.
Okay, yeah.
The arrows. Oh wow,
What?
wow! I think I might want to get that just to sell them because to craft 1,000 ice blade arrows, the regents are 2 crystallized shadow.
So basically nothing.
Basically nothing.
Now, will they actually sell? Because essentially everybody is an engineer.
Yeah, I know, but that actually I was surprised. Just
Well,
2 crystallized shadow.
They can't have the cost to craft arrows too high because hunters go through a lot of arrows.
Yeah, but that is remarkably low.
That is really like that's basically
I mean,
free.
shadow drops from everything.
That is less than a gold to craft 1,000 arrows. But
Yeah.
you know,
So have you done any of the new dungeons?
yes, I did. I've done the first one.
I thought there was going to be more to
There
that.
was going to be, because there's a quest line that runs through them, right? And
Yeah.
the Forge of Souls popped up in the RDF when we were doing that the other day. So I got the first one done, and I did the quest there. And I thought that I had queued to do the second one, but maybe I didn't. I haven't done it yet. No, I want to do the other two, because I want to finish the quest line for more Frost Emblems.
Can we try and get a time where we're all on and see if we get other guildies and group together and do that?
We could
can
even
do all
just
three?
get the three of us and queue up to grab a tank and a healer.
How about we try to see if there's any guildies first?
Unless someone in our Discord who's a tank wants to join us.
Snot
because
Goblin?
That ends up with super fast queues. So then
Snot Goblin's a tank, isn't he?
Snot Goblin, I believe so.
He's been tanking for us.
And is Bruisley a healer?
I feel like he's a healer.
Well, there you go.
So yeah, so we could do that. What phone is
Your phone's ringing.
Sam's popular today. So yeah, we should do that because I want to finish that quest chain.
Yeah.
And I know Forge of Souls, the bag didn't drop. I want to keep doing that one for the bag because I want to get a new bag. But that Forge of Souls was super easy. And
Yes.
I know Halls of Reflection. I remember it being a little more difficult, but I haven't done it since like 2008. So maybe it's easy, and I just remember it being hard. But
So
yeah.
my next question, when you were in the first one you did, how hard was the trash?
For Forge of Souls?
Yes.
Because the trash that you farm for the Battered Hilt is in Pit of Saura.
Oh, okay. So I got that wrong. But I want to make regular farming runs
We could do that.
and get a patterned hilt.
Like, do you want one of the weapons, or do you want to get them to
Yeah, they have a sword.
Is it a one-handed sword?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, we could do that. I would imagine the three of us could kill the trash, because paladins can solo it. Like, prot paladins can solo it.
All right, so I'll help you out. You help me out.
But here's
I'll
the thing.
get you. Pardon?
I said, but here's the thing. Because right now my off-spec is prot, which I have put no work into the gear basically since Alduar. I've got trophies, so I can get the tier 9 set, because I've got the trophies of the Crusade, or whatever they're called, and I've got like 500 emblems of Triumph that I haven't used yet. So I could really kind of flesh out my set, my tanking set. But I'm torn because I kind of want to switch my off-spec to Holy, so I can heal.
Yeah.
Because I enjoy healing more than I enjoy tanking. I don't like tanking. Like, I'm not a fan of it. The only thing I like to use my tanking set for is soloing stuff.
Do you know what I had fun doing?
What?
And I wish I knew how to do it better. I actually enjoyed healing when that's all I had to focus on. I do not get the priest. I know people have messaged me and you're like, watch videos, blah, blah, blah. I still just don't
Do
understand.
you want to level Paladin? Because Paladin... Is Joyous Journey still on?
Yes.
Do you want to level a Paladin? Because Paladin is so much easier to heal.
Yeah, I know, but I have my hunter, but I also really enjoy my hunter,
And I can
so...
also help you because I have never played a priest, but I have played a not hunter. What am I?
Paladin.
I've played Paladin. I know Paladin. So I can very easily guide you on how to heal as a Paladin. And also healing as a Paladin is super easy.
I know, but I like my hunter.
You basically stick your beacon on something and just spam heals. Like, there's nothing to do.
I'll think about it. How long's Joyous Journeys on for?
Is it just here to stay now?
It's indeterminate.
It's indeterminate.
So if I want to, like, if I'm bored one day and
I
no
think
one's
it's only
home...
One day.
Yeah,
No,
we
if
don't
I'm
load it.
bored one day when no one else is on, I can just...
Yeah, make a Paladin and start leveling it.
I have a level 18 paladin right now.
Paladin
Yeah, I
is
think
a
level
great-
18.
But on
Paladin is a great
Wrath?
in Wrath.
Yes.
Okay.
Righteous Squid.
And I
Oh.
can run you through, well, either of us could, really, but I could run you through dungeons.
Random dungeon finder.
Oh, yeah, just level as a random dungeon finder.
I don't know how to... You'd have to show me how to
You
queue
hit-
for
you
those.
hit I, and then hit join group. Are you in game right now?
No?
I wonder if random dungeon finder,
Is it
will
really
that
quick
get
to
us in a
level?
Rage Fire Chasm?
Maybe, I don't know, probably. Here's the
Because
thing.
that
if me and you level together, make a paladin. I'll make a something else. Need some kind of healer or tank if you don't want to heal.
Human paladin?
I prefer human
Okay.
because of the weapon stuff, but it doesn't really apply to. I think dwarf paladin is technically the best race if you're going to be holy, but dwarves are like silly and short.
Okay, I need a name.
Samadin, Palisam, Palinantha,
Pally-Sam. Sample Pally.
Palinantha. I like
Sam Pally.
What?
Palinantha.
Palinantha. I like that.
Rolaridon.
Ro-
Oh, Ro Paladin.
Rolaridon.
Ro Paladin.
Calling you now.
She's Mrs. Popular.
She has a secret boyfriend.
Yes. So I linked something today in the off topic,
Yeah.
the owl jokes.
Oh crap! I just realized we need to do podcast questions when Sam gets back. 'Cause
Yeah,
we
owl
just
jokes.
ramble.
There's actually a YouTube owl jokes, and I said, I love that this exists. I'm sad it's not me, but I joined it because I was watching one of his jokes, and it dealt with what you were just saying right there. You said she has a secret boyfriend. And I'll try and find that video. You link it to you. It's kind of funny.
Nice.
Podcast
So,
questions.
yeah, Sam needs to level a paladin, so she can. Well, if she levels a paladin and she's a healer, then I'll stay tank as my paladin, or I'll just stay red. And you can. Do you want tank? No, but like dungeon finder, random dungeon finder is such a fast way to level, especially if you're like a healer or a tank. Sam's probably not going to want to heal or tank leveling up. Although, if she heals leveling up, she'll learn how to heal. And
Yes.
that'll help her in the long run. So if I make a tank class...
The thing that'll make it easy for her, it's never been easier to level as a healer.
Especially if I'm going tanking. Because then I can be like, don't worry about it. And that's...
But you have... Oh, sorry.
That was the end. I was just explaining that was the end of that sentence.
Yeah, well, you have the random dungeon finder, so now it's not like it's... If you level with that, you're not out in the world being nerfed by the fact that you're a healer.
You're not out in the world? What? But that's not the way the game was meant to be experienced, Al.
Oh,
So you're
sorry.
saying you're just going to sit in a city and queue up for dungeons and that's what you're going to level?
I ruined the whole game for everybody.
You've ruined the game for me. I can no longer enjoy it knowing that that's how you plan to play.
You? Well, that's going to be hard. How can you not enjoy
Hold on, let me
the
log
joyous
in.
journey?
I just gotta go. I have to go cancel my account.
I'll buy it from
I'll do
you.
it later because I've got stuff going on there. No.
Oh no, if I buy your account, I might end up in the same purgatory that Bob's in.
Nobody should play. Nobody should play this game because there are people who sit in a city and they don't go out and enjoy the world as it was intended. If you're not running back and forth across the what's it? I want to say the Barrens, but we're not Horde. What's a stupid alliance zone? There's not an alliance zone as bad as the Barrens, but Ashenvale Forest. If you're not running back and forth across Ashenvale Forest,
Dark
doing
Shore?
quests as was intended, then the entire game might as well not exist.
Dark Shore.
Dark Shore is terrible. I would never make a high elf. No, what are they called? Night elves? I would never make a night elf. Oh shoot. My first thought was to make a druid to play with Sam's paladin, but I have to be a night elf, wouldn't I? I don't want to be a night elf. I hate night elves.
Yes, yes, you do.
No, I'm not gonna be. And I don't want to make another paladin because I have so many paladins. What's the other tank?
No.
Is Warrior the only other tank? I guess I'd have
Warrior.
Warrior, Druid, Paladin. That's it. I can't play a level 20 DK. So
Yeah, true that.
what?
We'll talk after.
So
Oh, you're not gonna miss it?
Well, I just not record. Doesn't need to be recorded. Al can still be here to talk
I
about
don't need to
it.
be here. I'm
I
just
have no
bugging.
idea what it could possibly be. Do they want one of the kids back? It was a hospital, right?
Yeah,
Did they give us the wrong one?
yeah.
Wow. I don't know.
That's terrible.
So yeah, make a paladin. I'll make a warrior because I have too many paladins already, and we'll queue up as like healer tank. Because if you level as a healer, like through low level dungeons, you learn your skills and you progress in the class. And as you gain new skills, you're using them, and it helps you know what you're doing much better. As opposed to, did you boost your priest or did you level it? You boosted it. That's probably why you don't understand your priest, because you didn't play it from 1 to 60 or 1 to 70 or wherever you boosted to. So you have no idea what you're doing.
Yeah.
And you've just suddenly got like 400 buttons that you have to choose from, and you don't know how to do it. But if you play it from like level 1, then you're like, oh, I added this button now. I added this button now. You know what you're doing. So that's what I've done. We really need to get to the podcast questions because we've been talking for a while and we haven't even started those, and there's a bunch of them. So let's get some podcast questions going. Sam, do you wanna open that up?
It's time for podcast questions. Oh, did you guys mute?
Nope, I'm just waiting for Sam to open the podcast questions.
I was creating my name.
Creating your but the podcast questions.
But
Okay, where does it start? Podcast
in
question.
Discord.
From Hoax?
Go back an amount until we get to the right.
Wrath. Oh, wait, hold on. There's more. Oh, Snot Goblin.
There's a whole bunch of them. We gotta power through these because we gotta start making dinner because it's like 4 o'clock already.
Who needs to eat?
I've got a hockey game that I want to watch later. I need to edit this thing today. And
Speaking of hockey, so I saw this meme on Facebook because that's my life.
yeah,
And what's his name? Travis Kelce was football. He was at a Jets game.
like
Is that what his brother is? Eagles game.
Okay, that's.
I was gonna say, was Benny there?
Eagles game.
Talking about the,
I'm talking about football.
okay,
So he was at an Eagles game, and
this
it's
has nothing to do with hockey.
no, nothing at all.
Because there's a hockey team called the Jets, and I was like, what was he doing in Winnipeg?
But it said
His brother
Travis Kelce, and then underneath it says, what's his brother's name? Jason's brother. I thought that was funny. I know.
Where they talk about things.
I know. I watched some of it on TikTok. His Jason.
Yes.
His wife is hilarious.
He has a wife?
Yeah, 3
Is
kids.
she on the podcast?
Yeah.
I've never actually seen it or listened to it. I just know that they have it.
Can you people
Oh, is this a podcast question now?
Yep.
Okay.
What do you
What do you
mean?
mean, you people?
assemble a tier list of each race?
Shoot, we should have done this ahead of time.
And are there any races or classes any of you refuse to play? I will now refuse to play priest.
Let's do it on the fly, the tier list.
I don't even know what that
I
means.
don't have graphics, though. I have a piece of paper, though. That one's all folded up. That one's got a painting on it.
I'm logging out, so I go to create a new character screen. Oh, wow. I was going to say no, but the first thing that popped up is a gnome, and I love the hairdo. So I'd probably do a gnome.
Okay, so,
Why are you using my screen?
tier list. Because people want to see my face way more than your face. So notice that it starts with S, because that's how tier lists work. Okay, so let's go through the races. Okay, so let's
Race through the races.
Let's start with Horde, because we're not Horde. So, Troll. What tier is Troll? They've got good racials, but they're ugly.
Yeah, I like the racials. They're tall.
Oh,
though.
that's
They're
undead.
Tall motherfuckers.
So tall, is that a plus or a minus? Because when they're sitting on a mount, they can't get through doors.
Yeah, but the berserk, the increasing attack and casting speed is pretty S tier.
It is an
I
S
think-
tier racial. Are we throwing Troll in S tier?
I'll give it an S tier for the racial.
So orc.
Troll.
Orc also.
So Orc.
And
I love
Rage.
the Orc racials. And the Axe Mastery.
Yeah, I'll
And
give that an
they're
S
cool
tier as
looking.
well.
They're the coolest looking. So Orc.
That is not how you spell it.
So we got Orc. So Tauren.
Well, you know what? We're looking at these races before we even consider what class they are, though.
We're not doing classes. We're going to say what class we'll never play, but he wanted a racial tier list. So we are, wow, this sounds terrible. We're ranking races by how good they are.
Tauren
Undead.
is a D.
Tauren. I hate Taurens. They're ugly. I don't like their racial.
I don't
And
like
they're
their
ugly,
starting
and they're
area.
Too big, and their starting area sucks. Do you like Taurens, Alan?
They do have a stun, but I'll give them
War Stomp?
a B. I'll give them a
It
B.
doesn't work on like bosses and stuff. Orc racial
Okay.
and troll racial you can use on boss fights. War Stomp or whatever it's called, useless.
All right. Well, I'll still stick with B.
And you think D and I think D, so can we compromise and say C?
Oh, wait a minute. Is okay? No, I thought. Okay, never mind. I'll go with C.
Tauren? Okay.
Undead.
Tauren. Oh,
Undead has got to be an A or a B. Actually, you know what?
well,
I might even.
racial's good.
I'll go with
I
A or
can't
B
go- I can't
because I
go
can't
S.
put everything at S.
I think A. I mean, they're cool looking. They're racial. They can eat. They can eat corpses of their friends. That's
Oh,
always
I
a
like
plus.
that.
They can't skin them, but they can eat them.
Because you never have to have
what's their other
food.
racial? Is that their only racial?
No. they can
Underwater
remove-
breathing increased.
Oh, water
They can
breathing.
remove fear, sleep, and charm,
That's useful. So A
Yeah.
tier for undead.
and they're resistant to shadow damage.
Blood elf.
I spelled undead wrong, but that's fine. So
D.
we go blood elf. Blood elf. Racial is an underrated racial because you can use it as a spell interrupt.
Yeah.
So underrated racial. They're kind of lame. They're night elfish. in
They're too pretty.
In their lameness. I don't know. I kind of want to say B. I think their only upside is that it's the only way you can play a paladin as horde, and their racial is underratedly okay.
You say B?
I said B. What do you say?
I'll
said
go with
D.
C or D.
C or D? What do you think?
I'll do C.
So we'll go with C.
Yeah, I mean, they may have an underrated racial, but that's really brought down by the fact that nobody wants to play them.
Okay, so our tier list so far for horde, we've got. Don't worry about it. We've got troll and orc at S tier, undead at A tier, and Tauren and blood elf at C tier. There are no D tier horde
Or B.
races.
Or B.
tier, but B is in the
Yeah.
middle. Here's what B. So now,
Now,
let's
we
move
do
on
not claim to be
alliance.
experts, so please don't hold us to
I
that.
claim to be an expert. So alliance-
Human.
No, let's do human last because I like humans. Let's start with the D tier.
Dwarf.
Let's start with night elves.
Okay.
Do we all hate night elves?
No,
I hate night elves. They've got a
my
terrible-
main on Classic Era was a Night Elf.
They're well, it's because you were a druid. You have to be a night elf.
Yeah.
So, but I hold that against them. The fact that the only way you can be an alliance druid is to be a night elf makes me hate night elves even more because I want.
They have an underrated ability as well.
Which one?
Being able to get back to your body faster than everybody else,
See, I rate that as completely useless.
it's completely useless.
And there's a moderate perk in classic AQ 40 having the innate nature resist, but I mean it's not that much of a perk.
Yeah.
So night elves
No.
are kind of useless. They all of the worst hunters that I ever met were night elves. All of the alliance druids I met were night elves, but can't hold that against them, I suppose. But I mean, bad starting area, bad racials. They're ugly in a pretty
Their
kind of way.
fade.
They're
Their
what?
fade into shadows, I believe, can be cast in combat now.
Not in classic. It can't be.
Classic Wrath of the Lich King.
Can
They
it?
can. I
don't
believe
know.
so. Yes.
I want desperately to put them D, but I feel like you want me to put them higher.
No, you can do D.
No, feel free, but I think that's like a vanish for them.
Does it function as a vanish though?
I believe so. Yes.
All right. Well, I'm gonna put them
And I
D.
think they're harder to detect, although it doesn't say here. But I think they're harder to detect in invisibility.
That's possible. All right. So, what are the other gnome? Let's do gnome next. How do we feel about gnome?
I don't like them.
I have strong indifference towards gnome.
I don't like the gnome and dwarf area.
So Sam doesn't like the starting area. Starting area is
I-
kind of lame. There's
I like the hair.
You like the hair? The hair's cool. The racial's cool if you're a caster. With the bonus to your int.
I'll give them a B for that.
I'm good with gnomes in B.
Dwarf.
Dwarf. I don't like dwarfs. I know they have that stone skin's a good. It removes like
form,
bad
yeah.
effects, right? So stone whatever, stone skin.
Stone form?
Is a good racial. They're short and stubby. Not a fan of that.
Increased critical chance with guns.
Yeah, their gun buff is okay if you're a hunter, but then I feel like if I was a hunter, a dwarf hunter, and I had a gun and an upgrade dropped and it was a bow, I'd be hesitant to take the upgrade because like does the racial make it? But I don't know. Where do we want to put dwarves?
B? C?
I mean, they do have a good racial.
A?
We're not considering any classes at this point, so
We're not considering classes. Just purely, we're judging people purely on their race right now.
I've never liked judging people for their race.
Well, we were asked to do it by our Discord. I'm going somewhere between A and C. I don't think they're D. They're definitely not S, but they're not bad.
Well, you know what's between A and C?
B.
B.
Yeah,
We're gonna go B.
I'll go with B.
We'll go B.
Drain eye.
Oh, I hate Draenei so much.
That's what you do when you get an infection.
Jewel crafting skill increased, may heal self or others over time. Party members' chance to hit with melee spells
the
increased,
hit
resist
chance-
shadow damage. I did that all by memory, guys.
Good. So that the hit chance is kind of a redeeming quality because that can come in handy.
And it passes on in parties as well.
Yeah, to your whole party.
Oh, it says party members right there.
Yeah. So if you've got a Draenei in every party in your raid, then everybody needs 1% hit less than they would otherwise. Which is
I'll
the
give them a
stat that
C
you can
for that.
allocate. So I don't know. Do you think they're? I mean, I don't like them. I don't like their starting area.
think-
I think they're ugly. I hate their mounts. And
So a D?
chance to hit is really their only redeeming quality. I'm
Yeah,
okay
well,
with
that's
C.
why I gave them a C and didn't fail them altogether.
Yeah.
And then human, I'm assuming you want that as S. That's not how you spell it.
I love human. Human is the best.
That's not
Their racial
right.
is great. It's fine. Their racial is great because the extra expertise
Yeah.
for swords and maces, that is great. Extra rep is underratedly good. Their
Yeah.
stealth detection, I don't care because I don't PvP, but if you're PvP, it's kind of good. They look nice. Their starting area is one of the best because apparently Blizzard put the most work into the Elwyn Forest area over any of the other starting areas. They start right beside Stormwind, which is where you want to be city-wise as Alliance. I want humans in S tier. You guys good with S tier for humans?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And did we miss any races? I don't think we did.
No,
No.
So there's our tier list.
backwards.
S tier, we've got troll orc humans. A tier, we've got undead. B tier,
Josh, turn your
we've got-
paper around. It's backwards. That's better.
I can't reverse my camera. I think I already did, but where we go?
I'll reverse it when I put it out.
So C tier, we've got Tauren, despite me thinking they should be D tier. Blood Elf and Draenei. And D tier, we've got Night Elf because Night Elves suck. So that is our race tier list.
We should put that into
question.
some kind of official format and release it as WoW News so we can report on it next week.
Good idea. We can also release that as a video short. So next question.
Is there any races or classes you refuse to play?
I wouldn't say refuse, but I have no desire to play a Night Elf Druid or a Tauren Druid. I would definitely play a Druid if I could play a different race.
I don't know race. I don't like dwarf or mage, but I would never play priest again.
And so here's the... I know I was all for adding this to S tier, but I will not play a troll. I don't like the way armor looks on trolls. I think it looks dumb. And I won't play a troll for that reason, but I probably should because trolls are actually a really good race.
Alan?
Those would be good for hunters.
They are great, yeah.
There is no race that I would avoid. It would really depend on what class I pick. Sometimes I just pick a mix race and class for no reason, but that's not the question. Avoiding. If I was absolutely refuse is the question. There's nothing I'd absolutely refuse. I've never done a priest, so why learn now? So I'll refuse to play a priest just because of that.
I forgot to do class. Probably for me, it's probably warlock. Just because I've tried a couple times and I just don't enjoy it.
Yeah,
Are you priest
I
as
can
well?
go with that.
I already answered.
I know you said priest, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Next question.
Okay, so someone asks if this has already been covered at some point. Feel free to ignore.
It has, but we can revisit it.
I would be really interested to know how you guys got into the game to begin with, what your early experience was like, what made you love this game, etc.
You know what we could do? Oh, sorry, I didn't realize
There was
Go
more,
ahead.
but it's fine.
I was gonna say we could find out where we talked about it and link that into the YouTube, and it doesn't help on the audio version, of course. But
It was one of our early episodes, so nobody wants to hear that. What we can? How about we very quickly recap? Because I started when WoW came out. I was playing EverQuest at the time. I strongly resisted switching to WoW because I liked DQ a lot. My friends were all leaving the game. I eventually followed them over and ended up playing WoW for a while before going back to EQ. I wouldn't say... The question is, what makes you love the game? I don't know if I'd go that far.
You don't love the game?
Like the game. But if someone was to come up to me and be like, what's a good amount of money but not a ridiculous amount of money? Like 10,000. If someone was to come up and offer me $10,000 to never play WoW again, I would absolutely take the money.
I would take the money too, but I'd be lying to them.
Well, there would have to be some way to enforce it. Like there are people like you could ask them, oh, what would it take for you to never play your favorite game again? Oh, I'd need like a life-changing amount of money, like $1 million. Yeah, I would do it for less than that. There's other stuff I could play. I enjoy WoW more for the people I play it with. Not you two, don't worry. More. Kidding. I enjoy WoW more for the people I'm playing with than for the game itself. The game itself is, at best, good. It's not great. It's not the best game I've ever played. There's nothing particularly special about it. It's just a decent game, but it's perfect for community building. Like, I enjoy raiding with my guild. It's not because I'm just desperate to play the game. I enjoy that interaction, and I do occasionally enjoy playing with you two as well. I mean, it's okay sometimes.
Occasionally enjoy playing with us. Excellent.
Well, I don't want it to
That's
go
what
to
we're
your, I don't want it to
complaining,
go
right?
to your heads. So I'm trying to understate. But it is a game. It is a good game. It's bordering on a very good game. But it's not like
Not the game.
it's not like the greatest game ever made. I don't know. There's nothing even that particularly special about it, aside from how popular it is. Like,
Okay, side question. How much money would it require to get you to never play EverQuest again?
I don't know. Not a lot. I like money.
How are you still drinking that coffee?
I go like this.
The thing with both games,
Like, how is it not empty, is what I'm saying.
Well, I went to Shatrat to get the hole. What was it called again?
the bottomless hole, portable hole.
Yeah, the portable hole. And they had a side deal with it, and I got a portable hole coffee cup.
Nice.
Cool.
So
Okay,
how
so
did you start
what?
playing WoW?
I also use this.
I just never saw you refill it.
It's his carrot.
I usually do when you're not looking, so you can say, "How are you still drinking that
Oh.
coffee?"
The reason I started playing was to spend time with my boyfriend at the time.
Does Josh know?
Is that who keeps calling you?
Yeah.
Al, how'd you start playing?
And when I say but when I say boyfriend at the time, that means my husband now.
So wait, does that make you my ex-girlfriend?
Yes.
So I reached a very miserable low spot in life, and no, it wasn't last week.
Short version, not long version.
Yeah, and I ended up living with Josh and Jen, and
Not me.
he said, "Let me show you something." I said, "Woohoo!" And then excitedly, he did not reach for his zipper. He instead turned on his PC and said, "Look at this." And I played World of Warcraft for the first time. I played on his accounts. Don't tell anybody.
I don't think.
And I played an undead mage called Bones.
Which is funny
Which is
because
weird.
We have another friend who uses Bones as all of his character names.
Yeah, but the reason I called him Bones is because I was going for the Star Trek theme. Dr. McCoy, Bones. So that's why I called him Bones.
I get it. So what
I
is
also was working at Zeller's at the time,
yeah.
and they had this movie playing. I worked in the home entertainment section. There's this movie playing, and I forget what it's called for the life. Oh, it was called Whimsy. And then Josh, as I was having difficulties playing a mage, he said, "Well, why don't you try a shaman? Everybody loves those," because we were the Dirty Horde.
Yeah.
And I created a shaman named Whimsy, which you recently discovered and said, "I don't remember ever making that," and deleted it.
This was a couple years ago. I don't think I deleted it. I didn't,
Oh,
didn't
so you
remember
still have
creating it.
Whimsy?
Maybe.
I should
don't
transfer
know.
him over to
I don't know
Wrath.
if they ever delete characters off of accounts, but we'll see. So that was okay. Next question, because we've been recording for so long.
How do you feel about a member of the guild Varg calling us a crappy little guild?
I support it 100%.
That's a good question. Who asked that one?
Alan.
I think that's a little bit low, and he should be. No, just kidding. I just threw that out there
from
for
the
flavor.
guild that I'm a guild master of. What's the next question?
Okay, so it's more of a statement. I don't really know what the question is.
We'll read the statement then.
It says, I know Al and I were talking about enchants one day, and he mentioned that enchanting and professions would be a good one to talk about. So I don't really know what their question there is.
I think it was a topic, but I don't know.
That would be. See, this one's fine, I think. That might be a good topic for. Yeah, get some crackers, and you can try some.
The sweet potato?
That
No.
one's gone bad. We're not eating that. That would be a good topic to have as like a topic for a future episode.
Okay, so
Because we'd have to like.
can we
think
like
about that.
pin that so we remember?
Yeah, just do something to flag it so we remember it. Next question.
When will Alan come back to me in hardcore?
Alan.
There's something about freezing over in hell that I can think of off the top of my head. No, I ran out of quarters. I'm sorry.
Greetings, Starfighter.
Yeah, I mean, hardcore can't possibly be that fun when you just keep dying.
Well, I know some people that just died once and never went back.
Well, that was always my plan. I wasn't gonna keep playing hardcore forever.
We're
I've been
still
saying-
waiting for the death clip,
I've been
sir.
saying since. Oh shoot, I forgot. I gotta find it. I've been saying since they announced hardcore that this is gonna last a few weeks, month or two, and then it's gonna get old. And I had been saying from the beginning I wasn't gonna keep playing hardcore once ICC came out. Like, it's not something that I want to play indefinitely. I just don't get that much out of it.
Well, I thought you were speaking in general about the popularity of the actual thing.
I was.
I didn't realize you were talking about yourself.
Well, I am part of everybody. I think.
Well, so am I, but I think I played about 10 or 11 characters before I gave up.
Has the popularity? Well, because you died 10 or 11. You died 10 or 11 times in the time it took me to die once. So that's just, it's the same amount of time.
No.
If I
You
started-
died before I finished, so it was less than that.
If I started a character and 2 days in I died at level 12, I wouldn't have quit right then. I would have made a new character. And I would have done that a few times. But I'm saying there was a pre-built-in limit to how much hardcore I was going to put up with, because it's just not that appealing to me. And
Yeah, I'm sad I didn't go further.
Has the popularity of hardcore not dropped off?
I don't know.
I'm certain it has. I mean, people parade out the screenshots of everybody waiting for a buff to drop in Booty Bay or Stormwind, but like, there's got to be less people playing than there was when it came out, and the numbers are gonna go down even more now that ICC's out. Like, it's not, and what's it called? What's that guild called? Frontier beat the boss, so the game's been beaten, so nobody needs to try anymore.
And as I mentioned earlier, I don't know if I mentioned it on podcast, but I've seen the former leader, I've seen the leader of Frontier. Sorry about the word former, I don't know. But I was watching it and he was playing Hordes today, so I don't know. I don't know if Frontier's going further.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah. So yeah.
So
your answer is no?
But we want a death clip, Josh. We want a death clip.
I'll find the death clip. I just here's the thing, as soon as I died and kind of made that mental decision that I was done, I just don't care anymore.
Yeah.
It's so
I would
hard
do a
to go,
death
it's so
clip
bad.
for-
It's so hard to make myself go back and find the clip. I mean, it'd be
I
super
would
easy
make-
because it'd be the last thing I recorded. It's right there. Okay, so what?
I would make death clips for all my deaths, but I ran out of drive space.
Yeah. No, I should. Okay.
That was a joke. Drive space because there's so many deaths.
Yeah, because, I mean, yeah, you must have a really small hard
Ooh.
drive.
Sam pinned a message to this channel. What did you pin?
The question that we need to remember is a topic for later. So what's the next question? Because we really need to finish this up so we can make dinner.
it says, oh, tags Josh. Also, probably your thoughts now that ICC is out. Where do you think their next step is? I've heard a lot about like Classic Plus and Kata, but I want your views on the next couple steps from WoW, and in a good way or a bad way.
Well, I can tell you with absolute certainty what their next step will be.
What?
Ruby Sanctum.
Don't know what that means, but okay.
It's the final raid in Wrath. They have to add that before they go anywhere else. But they're gonna have Kata servers. Because of course they are. Why would they not? Like, it makes sense to have Kata servers because Wrath was so popular, and then if Classic dies off after Kata, then maybe they stop and they don't do Pandaland.
I want Pandaland.
I think they should do Classic Plus, and I think they're kind of thinking about it. Like, I kind of get the impression that it's a thing on their mind, but they're not actively making it happen right now. So what I wonder is maybe after Wrath they drop the Kata server, and if it's not as popular, then you drop a fresh Classic Plus server. We're also waiting on Season of Mastery too for like a couple years now. So I mean, they got to do something with that, right? I mean, I know they did Hardcore. So Hardcore is basically Season of Mastery too, because it's.
I would love to see a fresh.
I forgot Al was
era.
here.
I would like a fresh era server. That's what I would like, and it would be cool if it was Classic Plus. But if it's not Classic Plus, whatever. I don't care.
What I would like to see in a fresh era server, though, is if they could somehow modify it. So, sorry about the no changes, but modify it so that as a raider, we don't have to spend so much extra time just farming things to go to raid.
Yeah. Well, they kind of tried to by making what's it called, the Lotus, Black Lotus spawn more often. But
Yeah, well,
yeah, they
increase the. Sorry, you keep cutting out when I interrupt. I apologize.
Did I actually cut out?
Well, your mic seems to go silent when I talk.
Yeah, probably. I think that happens. So what were you saying?
I just wanted to say, beyond just faster, more spawns of Black Lotus
Oh yeah, no, they did that. But
and
I mean,
more
you're
actions
saying
against
more
these
and more.
bots.
Well, no, that's what I was going to say. I would love to play on a classic server. So here's one thing. I'm going to very, very briefly, sorry Bob, I'm going to very briefly touch on EQ again. So I haven't played on WoW. No, this is just what I'm saying WoW needs to do. I haven't played on any WoW private servers. But the EQ private servers I've played they aggressively take action against any real money transactions, any kind of like botting, anything like that, and they do really well at it. Now, granted, these are much smaller populations, but I would love to see a classic server, even if it's not Classic Plus, even if it's just normal, fresh Classic server, where I can be confident that the place isn't going to be overrun by bots and gold sellers. That would be good. At this point is the only thing that's preventing that from being like really good. Like I imagine myself starting again on a fresh Classic server and thinking, man, this is great. And then having that slow realization that, oh my goodness, there's bots everywhere, mining everything and picking every herb and spamming dungeon runs, and oh look, everything's suddenly expensive and the economy's out of whack in 6 days. And I would love for that to not happen. There has to be a way to police that. I know Blizzard doesn't want to, but I mean, there's got to be a way.
Yeah. I would like it because we started Horde and we went Alliance. And when we went Alliance, that's when we started touching upon raiding. And I would like to just start somewhere that we're going to play right through. I would start raiding right from the beginning. And I would probably go back to Druid again because I've raided on a Druid. I pretty much know how to do it. I have a little more confidence. We know what to save up in order to open up the gate of AQ. I just think we could do so much more, and we're better attuned for it. And I think, Sam, you would probably enjoy doing that too because of the experience you had. You would have more experience with the classic controls and all that other jazz. It's just my humble opinion, but I would definitely want to go back to an era server, fresh Druid,
Also,
a new Ulysses.
Something that they did with the hardcore server that I've heard people kind of float as an idea for a fresh classic server.
Okay.
Is they opened up all the content at once instead of releasing it in phases. I would like to see them absolutely stay as far away from that as possible, because that makes basically all of the content pointless. Well, I mean, not for
they
most
gotta
people.
phase
Most
that.
guilds,
They really have to phase that.
Yeah, most guilds need to farm MC for a while before they can do Blackwing Lair and so on. But then you've got these like try hard, look at me, I'm special guilds who are just going to skip ahead on all the content.
Eat it.
And it makes it less interesting. Like,
So, those Scarab Lords on hardcore then, eh?
no what?
No Scarab Lords on hardcore then, eh?
They didn't do the whole opening thing. They didn't do any of that. No, they need to do, if there's a classic fresh, if there's a fresh server, they need to stagger the content, preferably over a long period of time, because like if I go back and play it, I want to go back and I want to do the MC raids and I want to do the Blackwing Lair raids, and I want to actually need to do them because that's the fun. So don't ruin that by releasing everything at once.
Yeah,
because then every guild is going to think they're special and try and rush it as well, and it's just going to lead to frustration.
Yeah, if I did that, I would definitely go back and I would only play the classic era. I wouldn't concentrate on anything else for the time being.
Yeah, so ideally they do that like after Wrath is done.
So last question.
Last question.
Well, Sam, did you mention what would you play?
I don't even remember the question.
Sam doesn't care. Next question.
Well, they're written
Sam
down.
will play whatever we play.
Okay.
Which main cities that mages can port to? Question mark. Horde or Alliance would you choose to live in if you had to in real life?
I'm afraid of heights and don't like cows, so Thunderbluff is out.
I would do Stormwind.
Yeah, I would do Stormwind too. I mean, it's lame, but like, yeah, because it's.
What about Stormwind would you like?
I don't know. I don't like Ironforge. Well, I do. I like Ironforge, but
here's what I like about Stormwind. Okay, it's not Thunderbluff. It's not Darnassus. It's not Undercity. It's not Orgrimmar, and it's not Ironforge. That's what I like about Stormwind. Just by process of elimination, I wouldn't want to live in any of those other places.
Can mages port to Dalaran?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So then why not Dalaran?
I assumed they meant classic cities.
Oh, it doesn't
It
say.
doesn't say, but I assumed it.
Oh, really? Because Dalaran was one of my choices.
Dalaran just seems so crowded and
Yeah.
up in the air.
Oh,
I don't know. I wouldn't. There's also
No,
houses
sorry.
in Dalaran.
sorry. No. I don't pick Dalaran. I don't know why I said that. I was thinking of the Night Elf city, Darnassus.
Oh, well, what do you pick? Because I pick Stormwind.
I go on Horde. I would say Orgrimmar. Just to get a nice warm area, a little bit of water with some deadly crocs. Why not? Just down the road. Reminds me of going to Mexico. Not that they have deadly crocs just down the road, and I hope that doesn't cross us any kind of. Anyway, regardless. And beyond that, I would pick Darnassus.
Yeah, I've never been a fan of Darnassus. The whole tree.
There's not a lot of people there. Who's gonna bug you?
I do. I kind of like the treehouse idea, but I don't. I still.
I
would like
to
to-
WoW City because there's like nothing there.
The thing is,
So
you'll be
everywhere.
shopping in crowds if you lived in Stormwind. In Darnassus, you'd be the only one in the store.
I guess.
If you
I
add
guess-
real world
In-game
cosmetics to
wise-
it,
In real life.
I know, but I dislike Darnassus so much as an in-game city. It's hard to pick it as an answer to this. But yeah, I can see why it would be good.
I think.
All right, is
I
there
think I
anything
got
else?
them all.
I think that's all our questions. We've been doing this for so long today because we had like an hour break in the middle.
Yeah, I know, and I've been getting so many phone calls, and I still have to make phone calls.
I don't know if this episode is as long as it feels because of the breaks, but
Why are you naked?
we need to.
Oh,
Okay.
okay. You don't have to tell us. Just go. Oh, we're ending.
Yeah, we're finishing this now. Yeah, so yeah, we gotta end this.
You should probably cut out the "Why are you naked?"
Yeah, I might. We'll see.
well, if we saw it, then yeah. But right now, it's just a question.
Yeah, you look off screen. You've been getting phone calls from your mystery boyfriend all episode, and now you're asking some random person off camera. Why
Wasn't
you're
a
naked.
random
People are gonna
person.
start rumors, Sam.
Well, if it helps, most of those questions were from the hospital.
Your boyfriend works at the hospital? Is he a doctor?
Well, he'll be looking in some area then tomorrow.
Oh, are you getting that done at the hospital?
Yeah, the women's
So you
clinic.
went to the clinic. All right,
The
so-
women's clinic.
Oh, you have a special clinic just for you.
For my lady parts, yes.
I don't have a special clinic for my lady parts.
You don't have lady parts.
All right. Oh, let's end this quick.
That's
Gee.
outrageous.
Every time he ate the entire thing.